back to you guys with another live stream. Hopefully we got everything up and running this evening. I might need to turn my lighting up just a little bit. Of course, if you're new to me and new to the channel, welcome first and foremost. We appreciate you taking the time, tuning in this evening. Hopefully you guys have had a great week so far. And of course, if you're new to the live stream specifically, these live streams are for you guys. So if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to shout those out in the chat below. In today's stream, we're going to be talking about just things, of course, that you need to know whenever you're starting a pest control business. We talk about, this type of subject a lot on this channel. Not just things you need to know when starting your pest control business, but also just, things that I wish I knew, essentially. There's a combination of things that we go over in these streams, of course, like things that I wish I knew, things that you definitely need to know. And of course, like we said, answers to your questions, any questions you may have, I answer them on these streams for you guys. So if you ever have any questions, do not hesitate, shout it out. I keep the chat pulled up on my end as well as on the phone. We're doing the stream on the phone specifically. So yeah, don't hesitate to drop any questions, comments, anything like that. Hopefully everything is doing all right on today's stream. First and foremost, just want to give you guys like an overall update. Of course, you guys are always interested in hearing about different types of things within our pest control business journey. Just want to give you guys an update while we're waiting on people to start filing in and questions to start coming in, all that type of stuff. Just want to give you guys an update on the month so far. I'm trying to be more consistent in terms of reporting, like our company numbers and that kind of thing. I know that, that's a big thing for a lot of people, trying to getting our sales forecast and everything. Just to give you guys an idea of where we're at right now with our business on the year. So far year to date, we've done just under $94,000 in sales. We're at pretty much 93.5. We're at $93,469 to be exact. And when we take a look at our sales forecast, the absolute worst case scenario we would be looking at this year would be right around $140,000, which would obviously be a decrease year over year. But like I said, that would be worst case scenario. That factors in not selling anything for the rest of the year. That factors in actually a decline of 5% in terms of cancel rate throughout the rest of the year, not month over month, throughout the rest of the year. So like I said, that's kind of the worst case scenario. And like we say, year to date, we're just under $100,000. We have a lot of stuff coming up in September as well as October, as a matter of fact. I didn't realize how much in terms of our yearly recurring revenue we have coming up. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, I'm just looking at our numbers, giving you guys an update, because I realize I try to be, learn from my content in terms of how to do it better for you guys. And one thing that I noticed, I was like, I don't bring up my actual like sales numbers so much, only whenever like I'm doing like yearly type of videos, like how much we did in sales in 2022, for example. That was a big video that a lot of you guys liked. And then of course my overall update video that we've brought up a couple times, like close to 7,000 views on that video so far. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys those numbers in terms of what we're looking at for August. August is actually, August is sitting very pretty. We're actually already, if we don't sell anything the rest of this month and everything that's like, of course scheduled to go this month ends up going, will actually be a couple $100 above what we did in July altogether. So definitely a good start to the month. We've had a couple of good scores this week in terms of yearly accounts where they pay for the year up front. How's it going there? I think it was Salvador. Let me see. How's it going, Salvador? Keep up the great work. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Never satisfied, of course. But of course, we're making a bunch of tweaks this year, and really ever since the middle of last year, we've been for about 12 to 18 months now, making some really big changes in terms of, you guys know we really don't spend a whole heck of a lot on advertising. We just kind of cash flow it as the money is available. If I were to take, all of the debt that's available to me, say max out credit cards and everything like that, and get a couple business loans or angel investors or anything like that, I'm sure that, we could invest a lot more in terms of advertising, but I'm trying to cash flow as much of our business expenditures as possible. So with that, we just don't really run a lot of advertising. But in August, we received, ended up being finally Google. It takes them about a week, it seems, at the beginning of the month to sort out your actual end of the month numbers for your Google business profile. And when we pull up our August, getting it pulled up here, or July, sorry about that. Our July numbers are 42 calls versus just 21 calls, and that's hilarious, literally a double. We had 21, just put in perspective why I always say don't get discouraged whenever your SEO efforts don't seem to be paying off. Just take a look at this year over year for our Google business profile. We had 42 calls. This is just calls. This doesn't include website clicks, website leads, any of that. These are just calls strictly from the Google business profile. 42 calls last month. And in terms of a year over year difference, that's literally a double, 100% even, which means we had 21 calls back in 2022 over the same time period. So, like I said, do not get discouraged if you do things that we talk about on this channel, or any channel really that you're watching, in terms of SEO, search engine optimization for your Google business profile, your website, that kind of things, because it takes time. I cannot stress that enough. When it comes to growing your pest control business, it's a marathon, not a race. I try to bring that up so often to you guys because a lot of people, especially in the entrepreneur space, a lot of people want to make it seem like you're going to be making 7, 8, 9 figures, per day or something ridiculous, within a week or a month of starting your business. And it's just BS. If they are making that much, it's usually because they're selling you some $20,000 course or something crazy, right? But the proof is in the pudding there. We literally doubled our call volume just from the Google business profile year over year. In terms of website clicks, we saw a 53.3% increase. We saw 69 website clicks just from the Google business profile alone. Let's see. And then in terms of what they call overview, like Google business interactions, which interactions are described as when people call, message, make bookings, ask for directions. It says and more. I'm assuming like leaving reviews and things like that. That was up overall 38.2% for, it says 170 profile interactions last month. So yeah, and in terms of where we're at for August so far, it shows, let's see, in terms of calls, it says only 4, but I never really, I know for a fact this is not updated. One, it says last updated Friday, August 4th was when that was last updated. So I never really like to look at the in-month one. I just like looking at the year over year. For example, March of 2023, calls were up 43.7% year over year. April 2023, calls were up 85.7% year over year versus April of 2022. May, calls were up only 5%. If you've watched a previous video, or it may have been a stream, you guys know we had a weird month in May. We had a period of 6 or 7 days where our Google business profile was not showing our phone number. But even with that, we were still up 6% year over year, May 2022 versus May 2023. June, let's see, where are we at for June? June was up 64.7%. And then, like we said, July was the biggest leap so far from what I can remember. This is one thing I hate about the Google Business Profile platform is they only show a rolling 6 months. So I don't see February, January, etc. I believe January was up pretty big too. February was up, but I don't remember how much. But like I said, July was literally a double. So we're not, dissatisfied with those numbers or anything like that. How's it going? Positive Vibes DIY. Thank you for the advice. Yeah, no, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you guys are liking the stream so far. If you are, do me a favor, smash that like button or give me some hearts, hundreds, whatever the case may be. I know there's different things you can do on YouTube Live anymore. I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Let's see. You might be interested to know Google has randomly overturned my denied Google local service disputes from a couple months back. I had reached out to them over 10 disputes I didn't agree with. They originally ruled that the disputes were valid, even though I thought that was BS. They refused to turn them over. Randomly, months later, they changed their mind. That is interesting. Makes me wonder. I'm interested. I heard too, Google Local Services just came out with an update about either something to do with photo reviews or something to do with photos in general. They said they changed their policies on photos. I didn't really read into it just because I haven't been, using that platform too much lately since probably June. If I were to put a date on it, I want to say June was the last time I had that up and going. And they were actually sending us some leads again. And I'm like I mentioned too, we're debating kicking that back on. I just have to finish porting my main business cell phone number that we've used for the business since day one into open phone once we get that ported through. And it doesn't take long. It's just a matter of me, sitting down and doing it, making sure it gets done properly and everything, to where my wife will be able to answer those calls. Because of course, if I want to update the phone number, I gotta call Google Local, and I just don't want to mess with any of that stuff. I just kind of want to leave it alone. Easiest way to do it would be, just port my phone number into open phone, and then my wife can answer those calls as they come in. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. But that is definitely interesting, Salvador, that they just randomly months later. I'll say I did have that happen back in, I want to say it was 2021 with Google Local Services. I noticed that, I would have some leads that definitely, didn't get approved, and I'd be like, oh, this is BS. Like you said, like it was clearly like either a robot call, which wasn't too bad in 2021. In 2021, when we were really using Google Local Services heavy, the calls were great. I noticed in 2023 specifically, a lot of spam calls are getting through. It's insanity, and that's actually part of why I went ahead and turned it off, was because there was just so much spam getting through, and I couldn't keep up with the disputes at the end of the day. So I was like, you know what? Let's just shut this off for now. We're getting obviously plenty of calls through our Google business profile and our website. I was like, we'll turn that back on at some point. Hopefully Google will get their stuff together. But yeah, I do remember, like I said, a couple years ago, I would get a random email, or you tell me if it's the same way for you, Salvador. It's not just one. I noticed back in 2021, it would be like bam, bam, bam. They would, randomly change their decision and approve like a batch of them, like at once, or like maybe not at once, but like in like a period of a few hours or something. It would just be approved, approved, approved. They would just switch it all at once. I'm wondering if that's what's going on for you. Let's see, Positive Vibes DIY. Hey, I got my first commercial account the same day I got Gorilla Desk. Thanks to you, man. Oh, that's awesome. If you guys, speaking of Gorilla Desk, if you guys are interested in trying out Gorilla Desk, we do now finally have like an affiliate link. You can try them out for 14 days on us. Link for that is one in my link tree. I have a link tree for you guys to keep, different links of things that you guys may be interested in, like my social media accounts and all that different type of stuff in the description. And then we also have like a dedicated area for the Gorilla Desk free trial for you guys. Link for that, like I said, is in the description box. How's it going there, Han YOLO? Notifications have failed me. I'm assuming, are you talking about the YouTube notifications? If so, one thing I've noticed, YouTube shows me actually like how many people, it doesn't tell me who obviously, but they let me know how many of my subscribers, like one, have hit the bell notification to be, notified. But then it tells me also how many of you guys have YouTube notifications turned on. So one thing you may want to check, Han Yolo, because like it tells me like something like 300 of you have, you know, your little bell icon hit for the channel, which is awesome. I can't believe we have that many people that want to tune in on a frequent basis like that. But here's the issue. Out of 300 of you, only like 162 last I seen have notifications for YouTube actually turned on. Sometimes it can be like what I do. Say you have you know, parts of the day where your phone goes into like sleep mode or airplane mode or whatever the case may be, where you're not receiving notifications. It could be something like that, or you may literally need to go into the YouTube app in your settings. On iPhone, it's really easy. You can just go into your settings, search YouTube, and then make sure that your notifications for YouTube are turned on to all. And then that way, when you hit the bell notification, you'll be notified literally for any videos, streams, posts and polls, because we can do post and polls on here now too. Let's see, he said, yeah, YouTube. I had no idea you were even live. I always hit the bell. Yeah, no, then yeah, definitely I would check out after the stream. Make sure that there's nothing within your settings. So yeah, that's what I've always noticed too, even for me, is the case. I'll hit the bell icon, and then I just get so overwhelmed with all the different notifications that I get that I'll just turn my YouTube. Same thing for things like ESPN, right? Football season will come around and my notifications are just ridiculous. They'll start sending you stupid articles and this and that, and I'm like, I don't want none of that. Just shut this stuff off altogether, right? So yeah, definitely check that out. And yeah, another thing that some of you guys have been asking about, I wanted to show you guys just an example of this. Trying to find one that's not filled out, because my wife has been doing a great job. Oh my gosh, even that one's filled out. She's been doing a great job of actually using this sheet, and she actually created it. And if you guys want me to, whenever like I do a future live stream, or maybe I can, oh, that's what I can do. Duh, I can link it on my website, because we have a website now for the channel as well. She created this, it's like almost like a price sheet or like a script, I guess. It may be kind of hard to see. I'm gonna hold it up here and see if maybe you guys can see it. It's pretty simple and straightforward. There's enough space on a piece of paper where you can actually get like 2 uses, or if you print it out front and back, which for some reason we didn't, you can get like 4 uses out of it. But it's pretty cool because, you know, like I said, if you're hiring someone that's pretty new, like my wife, for example, she had 0 pest control experience coming into the industry. There's things on here that are pretty straightforward. You know, who am I speaking with? You know, what's their phone number, of course, which is all usually right there. And then what kind of pests are they dealing with? You know, depending on what their answer is for, you know, what types of pests, they may be pushed for that 5-star protection plan, which is like our total pest protection type of promo that we were discussing in a previous stream. If you guys want me to in this stream, I can break that down for those of you that may have not seen that yet, how we bundle services to get, you know, $1,200 to $2,400 a year out of some of our customers without screwing them, by the way. You know, there's a reason that the price is so wide. It depends on the home. Let's see, what else? Of course, what's their quote, you know, yearly versus monthly? What town do they live in? What's the square footage of their home? Let's see, which service did they actually choose? What's their address? What's their email? What's their requested service date? Which time frame would they like? 8 to 11, 11 to 2, or 2 to 5? And of course, is there any gate codes or anything that we need? Like I said, I'll probably go ahead and link this in our website that we just created recently. There's, you know, anything like this that I put on there is going to be free for you guys to access if you guys want just, you know, this pretty basic template. And we're probably going to add on to this too, in all honesty. Like, this is just, you know, just the basics, because like I told her, I was like, early on, I'm not like expecting you to like know everything, right? You haven't gone out in the field with me. You don't really know much of anything about pest control outside of course, what I explained to her. For example, whenever we get German roach calls, you know, she she now knows how to price those, but at first she didn't know how to price them. So what I told her was anytime you don't know how to price something, just schedule it as a free inspection. Tell them I'll go out there personally, I'll give them a quote, and if they want to do it, then we can do it right there on the spot. Does it result in some cases a quote unquote waste of time in terms of, you go out there, you quote it, and like, oh, I can't afford that? Sure, but more times than not, by just getting your foot in the door, when they're dealing with a pest problem, it's going to take a pretty high price in terms of price to budget. There's always this constant balancing act with us as consumers, right? There's how much is the need versus, how much does the budget actually matter? You get your foot in the door, you get out there. This is why a lot of companies do the whole free inspection thing. For the longest, I hated it. I never offered free inspections, which even today, we don't really label it a free inspection. We call it our professional inspection, where we're gonna, validate exactly what your issue is, give you a quote, and if you end up going with the quote, there's no inspection cost at all. If for some reason you don't end up going with the service, it can be any service with us too. You can do a simple one-time service if you want to, whatever the case may be. If you do any service with us, there's no charge for the inspection. But if you end up doing no services with us, it's just a simple $75 plus tax fee. I've heard there's companies that are doing like $125, $150 even in my area now. So I can tell the industry as a whole is starting to shift away from the free pest inspections. But there are times in certain cases where the free inspection can definitely be a valuable tool, especially for higher ticket items like termite treatments, of course. What else? German roach treatments. I would say exclusion treatments, exclusion services and wildlife services, most definitely. Those are the 3 to 4 that, you're definitely going to want to offer that inspection still. But for something just like, I think I have carpenter ants, but I'm not for sure. Can you come out and do an inspection? Well, yeah, we can. And, we'll offer you some service plans. If you don't want to do any of those, that's fine. It would just be a $75 inspection if you don't end up doing any services with us. And 99% of people we explain that to, they're completely fine with it. But yeah, like I said, if you guys end up wanting that, smash that thumbs up button. Let me know let me see, we're at 3 likes right now. If we get this up to like, let's say 10 likes before the end of the stream, I'll post this little template that we have. And like I said, it's nothing crazy. We'll post it on the website though. That'll be my first, post on the website for you guys. That way, when you start your pest control business, if you're like me, you were a pest control technician who had like virtually no sales experience, you'll have something just to kind of, get your mind going. You'll find that you don't really go based off of the script. You probably will your first 2 to 5 calls, and then after you get a couple calls under your belt, you'll really start, making your own version. You'll notice not every situation is the same. You'll be like, oh, that's not on here, let me see. And then your expertise as the technician will come in and help you. And like I said, it becomes, like we talked about in that video I just did recently where we did the live sales call with a customer, it becomes more of a conversation than an actual sales call. So yeah, like I said, get this up to 10 likes before the end of the stream, and we'll definitely post that on the website for you guys. I think we got a couple of chat questions or comments here. How's it going there, DNB189? I hit the bell too and didn't get a notification. Yeah, I was actually talking about that just a little bit ago. If you hit the bell icon on YouTube and you don't have your notifications for YouTube, like in the settings of your phone, turned on to all notifications, for some reason you won't get the bell notifications because you shut YouTube notifications off. It's not that you don't have notifications turned on for the channel, it's just that you have no notifications turned on for YouTube as a whole. So if you have an iPhone, you just go into the iPhone settings. It's very easy. Android, I forget how Android does it because I don't really mess with my business phone in terms of settings and personalization and all that too often. But yeah, usually you just go into your settings app and you search for the app like YouTube, for example, and you just want to turn all notifications on. With that, you'll get the video notifications, live notifications, and even post and poll notifications, I believe. Don't hold me to that. But YouTube now has a thing where we can do posts similar to Twitter, Facebook, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's see. I started charging for bed bug inspections. They go with the quote, then we just add that. Exactly. That's exactly how we do it, Eric. So if they don't go with the inspection, or if they don't go with whatever service that it may be, then that's a simple $75 plus tax. And I should add, that's a good point you made about bed bug. Our bed bug inspections are $150 plus tax. Because of course we're risking more. Say they got bed bugs, right? We're risking bringing bed bugs home anytime we go to a bed bug quote or job. Hence why bed bug treatments in general cost so much, right? But yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought up bed bugs, because we do treat bed bugs differently than any other type of inspection. We charge $150, or like you said, if they go with the quote, we'll just put that towards their quote. And usually, assuming they can, get out of the house and everything's not just a complete train wreck, we can do the service right then and there. Some cases, it's really 50-50. There's some cases we can, and then some cases we have to schedule for a couple days out, kind of like flea treatments. A lot of people want a flea treatment. Then you tell them everything that's involved, and they're like, okay, that's a lot. Let me get a scheduled treatment for my dog and, find out what I can do with him for 4 hours or whatever the case may be, and I'll get back to you, that kind of thing. Speaking of which, I have a flea customer I need to follow up with, because she was wanting to do a treatment, but she never got back to us, so that's a good reminder. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Eric. Let's see. Salvador says, yeah, in my opinion, you should definitely be charging for bed bug inspections. Exactly. And yeah, like you said, the timing aspect too. A good bed bug treatment is usually going to take minimum, depending on the size of the home, how many bedrooms, how many pieces of furniture, minimum 20-30 minutes, right? So, just for the timing aspect, the risk aspect, all that type of stuff, you definitely want to be charging definitely something, right? In my opinion, at least $125 to $150. I used to charge $125, and then about a year ago I upped it to $150. I'm thinking about upping it to $195, just because, again, like we've been talking about when it comes to any type of pest control inspection, similar to the one-time service aspect, right? If you price something so high that, or not price it so high, but you price it high enough to where, it makes it almost seem like an easy decision. Like, say your bed bug treatments are, we'll just use a random easy number, $250 per bedroom, right? And they have 3 bedrooms. Like, say you're doing just like liquid treatment, right? So that'd be $750, we'll say. And then your bed bug inspection, assuming they wouldn't go with it, would be $195, right? So $200 essentially plus tax. How you can explain it to them is, I would go ahead and say they have bed bugs. I would go ahead and do this treatment because you're already paying me almost the amount of treating an entire bedroom. So why would you not just go ahead and pay for the treatment and, take your home back from those guys at the end of the day? So let's see. All right, boys, liked it for you all. Yeah, no, like I said, if you guys are just tuning in, if we get this stream up to 10 likes before the end of the stream, I'm going to post on our website probably tomorrow, just because by the time we get done with the stream, it's going to be getting later in the evening. But tomorrow, if we hit 10 likes on the stream, tomorrow on griffinbthomas.com, I'll post our script sheet. Like I said, it's pretty standard, basic, but for those of you that, like me, were a pest control technician before starting your business, it's something that, you'll definitely want to use, just because when you answer that first call, you don't want to be fumbling your words, go, it sounds awful, right? And that's another reason why I suggest you guys get some kind of system where you can record your calls, regardless if it's CallRail, Open Phone, any of these, recording services and that kind of thing. get a recording system. That way you can learn from your previous calls. Figure out what are you saying, like are you using filler words, are you doing a lot of ums and pauses, and almost second guessing yourself or anything like that that makes you sound either unprofessional or that you don't have the answer right. You want to be very quick and to the point. That's where a script like this, where like I said, I mean, it's straightforward to the point. As you guys can see there, hopefully it shows up pretty well on here. Looks like it is. I have the stream pulled up as well, so I can make sure everything's going smooth for you guys. But like we said, it's pretty straightforward. Who am I speaking with? Phone number, what type of pest. Like we said, not everything is covered on here or anything. It doesn't talk about bed bugs, doesn't talk about German roaches. There's a lot of stuff that's not on here, but like we said, this is just covering kind of your general basis. And then once you get your first few calls under your lap, you'll be able to start kind of creating your own version of this. And it'll get to a point where it's literally just in your head. I get to the point now where when we're running a promo or something, I'll get off the phone, I'll be like, shit, I forgot to mention, whatever. Because you just get in the habit of, you pretty much memorize this certain script essentially, right? So let's see, how's it going there? Tropical fruits, and I see tropical fruit loops, and I see you again. Let's see. Did you have any trouble filing your corporate taxes first year, or did you make any bookkeeping mistakes that we should watch out for? Personally, if you're starting this business you plan on making at least 6 figures or more, like most of you probably are. I always tell everybody 6 figures should be your minimum goal, because we could break down the math in another video of why $100,000 is the new 50,000, right? But assuming that you plan on making any type of real money in your pest control business, I would suggest just from day one finding an accountant that you trust. Even if you don't use their services your first year, say you use something like H&R Block or whatever the case may be, find a accountant that you do trust, and just, if nothing else, pay them for a consultation, right? Just pay to pick their brain or whatever the case may be. You can be upfront with them. My accountant, the first year, they knew that I wasn't going to be, using any service, just because I was like, it's my first year. I don't even know. I mean, let's be real. It's a business. At the end of the day, we never know if it's actually going to flop or not, right? I was like, I just want to make sure I'm doing everything right, having everything set up properly, all of that stuff. The main thing that I would be very careful for in terms of an easy to make bookkeeping mistake is if you're not sure that you can write it off. This is what I do like about QuickBooks, is they have an option called Ask Your Accountant. For example, let's say you thought for some reason you could write off your socks, right? Because, hey, it's part of my uniform or whatever the case may be, right? And then, your accountant tells you, no, you can't write off your socks. So, that's just one example, right? It doesn't sound like much, $5, $10 expense, but all that starts adding up. Say you get audited, which is inevitable the longer you're in business, the more money you're making. What's really going to trigger that first audit is whenever you make the most money in business you've ever made, but your tax bill is actually lower than it's ever been. More than likely, you're going to trigger an audit, which is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with being audited. A lot of times people think businesses that get audited are like frauds or whatever. Every business that's, if you're not being audited probably at least once every 5 to 10 years, you're probably not building a legit business to begin with. I mean, let's keep it real. There's a reason that all accountants suggest you keep at least 5 to 8 years, depending on which accountant you ask, of, receipts, driving logs, whatever type of business you're running, all these different types of logs year over year. I keep folders every single year. They start out real thin, and by the end of the year, they're like this thick, just massive monster folders of, receipts and documentation, licensing, this and that. You always want to be more, just like with the Department of Agriculture, right? Same thing with them. Like I go above and beyond printing out chemical logs and all this different stuff just to make sure that whenever the day comes that they do want to audit, whatever they're looking for, we're as prepared as possible, right? So, you can never cover your ass enough. That'd be the main thing. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. As soon as possible, set up a trust. You guys know me personally, I haven't even set up a trust yet. They can be pretty expensive to set them up the right way. And whenever you do go ahead and decide to do that, again, make sure that you're getting a true professional, not just some random person off freaking TikTok that tells you all these ridiculous business hacks or whatever the case may be. Credit hacks, that's the big one going around right now, is how you can hack the credit system, right? And I don't know if you guys have noticed lately, I've been having to drink a lot more water during the streams. I apologize for that. It's just when it's 105, 110 plus degrees every single day, I notice I have to drink a lot more water, electrolytes, all that type of stuff all throughout the day, night. Man, it's ridiculous out here. I've never been more ready for fall. It seems like every year I'm ready for fall more, year by year. And hopefully, like I said too, you guys are enjoying the stream. If you are, do me a favor, smash that like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below and hit the bell icon. That way you won't miss any future live streams or videos or anything. And like we said, if we get this, it looks like we're up to like 6 likes currently. If we get this up to 10 likes before the end of the stream, tomorrow I will post our pretty basic, straightforward little script, if you want to call it a script, like a sales script, I guess, just kind of getting the basic information from customers. Like we said, this is just one that we made for my wife for answering calls. If you're looking at having, your spouse answer your calls, I would definitely suggest creating some type of form like this, or, if we get this up to 10 likes, taking our form and doing that for your business, because it makes it much easier whenever, even if it's not your spouse, like we said, somebody that just has zero knowledge of the pest control industry, makes it easier. It's easier than them having to call you every time there's a call. Hey, what do I do for this? What do I do for that? And it's like, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of having someone answer calls if they have to call you for every single situation, right? So having some kind of script like that, it'll definitely come in handy for you guys. Like we said, we're going to give it away for free on griffinbthomas.com, which I believe should be in my link tree as well for you guys. We're not selling you anything in the stream or anything like that. Just looking at giving that little script away. My world says, nice, I like the script. Awesome. Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys, tuning in and everything, of course. See, we got like 8 of you tuning in right now. Of course, these streams are for you guys specifically. So if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to shout them out in the chat. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything really quick. I see tropical fruits, the tax question. I think that pretty much answers that question. You can't cover your ass enough, essentially. Making sure that, of course, you keep those business expenses separate, totally separate, bank accounts, credit cards, all that stuff, just keeping those 1,000% separate. You do not want to mix those at all. Not to mention, if you don't do this properly, you could literally be putting your business in jeopardy in terms of the LLC protections that come with having an LLC if you start mixing personal and business expenses. That's something I've been reading a lot about lately, and I was like, ooh, I got a feeling that when I first started my business, because that's kind of what Tropical Fruits was referring to, Fruit Loops was referring to, did you have trouble? I didn't have trouble filing my corporate taxes. Didn't have no trouble with that. I forgot to answer that part. I didn't have any trouble with that. But in terms of making bookkeeping mistakes, I would definitely say the easiest one that people will mess up that first year specifically is not getting those mixed up, because getting those mixed up, whoo, it'll put you in a world of hurt. But let's talk some math. While I'm waiting on some questions, of course, like we said, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to put it in the old chat box there. My world was the last one, so yeah, no, nothing so far. I want to break down, like I said, I'm a math guy, is why I got into business to begin with. Let's break down some numbers. We've been signing up so far in August, I would say an average contract value of about $425 per customer. Right now, this is where I can almost get in trouble with my ambitions, because I'll start doing all these numbers off the walls, and it just, in ways, it can set you up for failure, because when you don't hit those numbers, you're like, damn, like you feel down bad at the end of the day. But we're hitting, like we said, 425 per customer in terms of, this is just for standard general pest control, right? Want to make sure we don't have a bad reflection going on right there. Oh, my daughter came in here and put a bunch of markers all over this freaking thing earlier. Let me see, we don't got too bad a reflection now. 425 per customer. Say that, you're just doing general pest control only, 425 over, your quarterly treatments. You're going out there 4 times a year. That comes out to what, about 100, what does that come out to? Like $107, 106, right around there. We'll just say 106. I believe it's like 106 and change, but we'll just say 106 per service, right? So $106 per service. And the thing with these are, and this is why we're looking at getting a location as soon as possible, because the area where our business is located, there are bigger homes, but not as many bigger homes as in areas such as Plano, Texas, Frisco, Texas, Murphy, Texas, further north Dallas, where we're at in the Rowlett, Texas area. It's a lot of still nice homes, just they're slightly older. They're, newest homes. There are some new homes, because we had a tornado a few years back that took out a lot of homes, but primarily a lot of the homes are anywhere between 25 to 50 years old, right? So some are not necessarily old, but they're, not new homes that are ginormous or anything either. Our average home is usually right around 2,000 to 2,500 square feet. Nothing crazy. The home I'm in right now is like right at 3,000 square feet, something like that. And the home we're in right now is usually about the biggest type of home that I would treat in terms of linear footage. So with that, our, number in terms of what we're getting for each service is lower than if we had a location in an area like Plano, Texas, Frisco, Texas, etc., where the average size of a home is about 3,500 square feet. That 1,000 square feet makes a world of difference. For example, we just got a customer up in Frisco, Texas. I believe I was telling you guys about this. It may have been last week I told you guys about it. Sold her on a $75 a month plan with no pushback whatsoever. I was like, dude, this is nice. Because if I try to sell a $75 a month plan to people in this area, there are some that go after it, but it's just not that high or anything. This plan right here, if they were to do the monthly option, would have been $125 up front, because it wasn't through an ad or anything. $125 up front, and then $35 a month. So that's a $40 a month difference. It adds up, right? So definitely pay attention to the location. If possible, of course, a lot of you are like me, you're probably starting out of your home, but if you can get some kind of office space, you can find office spaces depending on your location. Like here in the Dallas, Texas area, I can find office spaces not all day per se, but ever since COVID, right? There's more office space available now more than ever. We can find office spaces a lot of times for well under $500. The first office space that I had for a year was, I believe, it was either $325 or $370. I think it was $375 to be exact, per month. That's really not bad at all when you consider, again, location is everything. If you can get on average an extra $40 a month per customer, just getting that extra one, say you get one customer per month at that additional rate, the point is you can cover that extra money that you would spend. Just look at it as marketing costs at the end of the day. Plus, it's a write-off, right? Lower that tax liability. But back to the point here, $425 per customer is what we're signing up for right now. The goal, like I always tell my wife, when we're not spending very much in terms of advertising, the goal is to get at least 10 of these, meaning they're going to pay for the year up front. I want to get 10 of those per month. So that $425 would turn into $4,250 for the year. And like we said, that's 10 customers, right? That's 10 customers. And we can break this math down a little bit further from here in terms of treatment costs, because I think Tropical Fruit Loops might have brought this up. I think you guys have a cheaper operating cost in Texas. We pay, yes. So I do not use Demand CS. I use, it's called Lambda 9.7 CS. Same exact chemical as Demand CS. For a 32 ounce bottle of it, it costs about it costs about $75, where, when you're getting the same amount of that same exact chemical, just because of the brand, you're gonna pay a hell of a lot more, going with Demand CS. Demand CS is the most expensive Lambda, what's the name of that chemical? Lambda cyluthrin or something like that. I know I'm probably butchering how to pronounce it. I believe, let me see, Demand CS, I'm pretty sure that comes in a 32 ounce bottle. Let me double check here. Demand CS. So Demand CS, it does come in the little bottles as well, which I think are 8 ounce bottles. Let me just double check. I'm just pulling up a random website that sells it here. So Demand CS, it comes in the 8 ounce bottles, and then it comes in a 32 ounce bottle. The 32 ounce bottle from this website here, which from time to time I'll buy some stuff from, it costs $100. The cheapest is $123 for if you buy it in bulk. The most expensive is around $130. We're like I said, that's almost double what we're paying for Lambda 9.7 CS, which is made by the same company that makes Gentrol. So it's not like because a lot of times companies will say, oh, they're using knockoff products, right? It's total BS. Now, are there certain brands that would be considered knockoff? Most definitely. I think the closest you would get to knockoff would be, I think there's a company that makes a Lambda product called like Lambda Star or something like that. It seems pretty cheap and knockoff-ish, but at the end of the day, as long as it has that same active ingredient and you're applying it properly, it's like people that go and buy fancy, what's a good example? Somebody that goes and buys, say a fancy shirt when it's all doing the same job at the end of the day, right? And that's actually what we can get into right here. So our average cost to service these accounts, in terms of yearly costs, because this is just the general pest control plan on, like we said, a 2,500 square foot home or less, is usually going to be around 1.5 gallons per treatment. I want to break it down, get my calculator pulled up here for you guys on the old laptop. Let's see, so if it's $75 per bottle, which that's the high end because we try to buy it in bulk whenever we have the funds to do so, but $75 divided by 32 ounces equals $2.34 per ounce. And like I said, at the max we're going to use, let's say that we are going to use 2 gallons, right? So 2 gallons at clean out, which is 0.8 ounces per gallon for that chemical, that's going to be 1.6 ounces. So we just multiply that times 1.6. That's going to be $3.75 for our liquid spray. And then off the top of my head, I know in terms of granular, we're going to use roughly, we'll just say $2. I think it's like $1 and change, but we'll just round up here and say $2 for Niban, which is being super, super liberal with that number, because just to put in perspective, we paid $90 for a 40-pound, yeah, there's no way it's $2, because we pay $90 for a 40-pound box. How's it going there? JM Pest Solutions. Let's see. So that would come out to $2.25 per pound, and we're only using at the absolute most, 6 ounces, and there's 16 ounces per pound. So let's see. 6 divided by 16 comes out to 0.375. Multiply that times 2.25. So yeah, that's 84 cents as a matter of fact per treatment in terms of Niban cost. So not even $1. I know that kind of looks like a 9. 84 cents per treatment. What else we got? Usually, in all honesty, this is going to be it. You know, we can add in we'll just say miscellaneous costs. Say we have to use some Alpine WSG. Say we have to use some Avion Ant Gel. Say we have to use some Delta Dust. You know, whatever the case may be, we can just add in some miscellaneous costs here. Let's just say $3 of miscellaneous. You know, equipment. You know, keeping up on equipment, that kind of thing. We can just say miscellaneous costs. So all in all, you're looking right around on the high end 6. We'll say $8 roughly. That's an ugly 8, but $8 per service. And like we said, $106, or you know, that's what it comes out to. But they're paying for the year $425. So you subtract that. Let's see, times 4. Of course, you have to take into consideration your wear and tear on your vehicle, all that kind of stuff. Paying yourself or paying a technician. Each service, you're gonna factor in roughly $20 for paying your technician. At least that's what I factor into it. So you know, this is up to what, 28? Let's just say $30 per service, right? So 30 times 4, that's what, 120? Or no, what am I doing? 8 and then 30. So oh yeah, 120 for the year. So 120 a year, and again, that's on the high end here. But 120 per year times 10 customers, that is what, 1,200. And we'll just label that costs. So that brings you out to $3,050 of NOI. Of course, you're going to have taxes on that. Good old Uncle Sam wants his piece, of course. Let's see. JM says what chemical you're using. So for the liquid treatment, we're using mostly, keyword is mostly here, Lambda 9.7 CS or Seismic CS. Mostly it's Lambda. I've been using a lot of Lambda the last year or so and have been having great results, especially with spider control, keeping American cockroaches out, which also the Niban helps with that. Any type of boric acid, you know, is going to really help with keeping those American roaches, as well as some of the little ants and, you know, like odorous house ants and rover ants and stuff like that, keeping those guys at bay. And then, of course, and if you're wondering what I mean by $3 for miscellaneous, this looks like a 1. It should be a slash. For $3 miscellaneous, that's, like I said, if you're going to have to do a little bit of inside treatment with like a little bit of Alpine WSG, or, you know, if you're using some Onslaught Fast Cap instead of using Lambda, I wanted to factor in just a little bit of, not every treatment is going to be the same at the end of the day, right? So we wanted to give us a little bit of leniency with that. Like we said, if you're doing the service by yourself, you're only gonna be looking at $8 a service roughly, because of course you have no employee costs, your overhead is very low. It's not factoring in marketing costs and things like that, of course. But what we're factoring in is paying, like $20 to an employee, 15 to 20 bucks. And we wanted to just round up to an easy number. So we're saying total cost $30 per service, aka 120 bucks a year. So you take that 120 off of that, brings it out to 305, which, or wait, did I do my math right there? Did I do my math right? Let me see. Pull my calculator back up here. I didn't realize I exited out of it. I think I did my math right. Let me see. So that brings it down to 305. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Times 12. For 10. The math on the calculator is coming out to 3,660. But that doesn't sound right. What did I do wrong? 425 times 10 customers is 4,250. $120 a year times 10 customers would be 1,200. How would that not be 3,050? $120 a year. That brings it down to 305, but 305. Oh, duh. Brain fart. 305 times 10. I was doing it times 12, thinking month over month. You take the 305 times 10 customers because it's your price for the year, and that's how we get the 3,050. Okay. Man, confusing myself. So yeah, we were right on the math. So $3,050 for profit is how we came out to that. How's it going there, Rat King? Kim's, we've been using Alpine WSG for interior, Telstar P or Taurus SC for exterior, plus miscellaneous like Nybands and baiting gels. Cool. I only use Fast Cap for scorpions or brown recluse. Yeah, I mostly only use the Fast Cap Onslaught. I was actually debating using it as like my full-time chemical. The only problem with that is it is actually the math that I was doing. I did a video. I don't even know if I did a video on it. I think I just posted in our Discord group chat about it. I was debating switching to Fast Cap, and because the math I was working out was showing Fast Cap to be cheaper than even Lambda, but it's not. It's actually still about $1 per gallon. In terms of when you mix it, you dilute it, it's about $1 per gallon more than our Lambda 9.7 CS. So this cost here would actually come up to about $5 or between $5 to $6, which in the big scope of things, it depends how you look at it. Glass half full, glass half empty. How I'm looking at it at the end of the day is if I'm pushing this up $2, I'm raising my cost in terms of just the service, not even the cost of course, paying the technician, wear and tear on vehicles, etc. Just the cost of the service alone is going up 25%. So that's something you have to take into consideration, of course, when you're pricing the service. Like we said, this price here is just based on homes that are 2,500 square foot or less. Where we plan on getting an office in the near future, it's going to be not quite double the square footage, but about 50% more square footage. So all these numbers, are definitely subject to change. This is just what we've been selling so far this month. We've been selling a lot of these yearlies right around $385 to $450 per month, which if you average that out, gets you to right around $420, $425. I said per month, I mean per year. And that's what we've been selling a lot of. My goal right now is for us to sell 10 of these yearly paying clients per month, because that's going to help our bottom line tremendously. Let's see. Sorry, got a call. Oh, that's awesome getting calls. Never apologize for business. Let's see. I was going to say I never got heavy into breaking down cost per chemical travel. Yes, no. And that's where so many of this is why our industry is so cheap still, because a lot of owners, even myself, whenever I first, very first got started, I learned real quickly to do cost analysis because, if you guys know anything about my story, the first customer I ever went out to was I literally charged $85 to set up some bait stations, some traps, and it took me all in all, if you include drive time and everything, like 3 to 4 hours. So for 3 to 4 hours, I got $85. And of course, it was my first time, my first sale, anything. So of course I felt great, got that first sale out of the way, made my first dollar in business, lots of positives, right? But then when I got back home, started looking at everything, I was like, man, it don't really feel as good now. I was like, I made $85, cool, but the chemical costs this much, the bait stations cost this much, gas costs this much, which this was in 2020 when gas was only like $1.85 a gallon, but gas and wear and tear on vehicles, equipment, this and that, paying myself, taxes, that 85 turned into about 20 real quick, right? Or 25. So, and then the cost of the lead on top of that, because it was a Google local service lead. So didn't really make anything ultimately on that first service, but this is why so many companies come and go in terms of one-man show, because they're so focused on not wanting to screw the customer that they end up screwing themselves. So I'm not saying go out here and, for a standard 2,500 square foot home, think that you need to charge $900 a year or anything crazy like that. But, know the cost of what it takes to operate, and then from there have your target profit margin, and then, go from there. Let's see. 2 gallons per home is under $2 for exterior, not including 9-ban or other miscellaneous. I'm assuming you're referring to the Bifen or whatever it is, Telstar that you're using, Rat King, because yeah, that stuff is definitely cheap. It's not bad to use down here in the winter, but I can't get away with using that in the summer, unfortunately. I can only get away with using that between probably December and February down here, at least where I'm at, which I think you're in San Antonio if I remember right. So, you do exterior interior every time. Okay, yeah, then yes, that'll definitely make a difference for sure. Rat King, you do mostly bi-monthly or seasonal? Yeah, and that's what I was actually referring to there, Salvador. So you pretty much mentioned that spot on. Yeah, it burns off for sure. Let's see. I wanted to ask about taxes in Texas because Illinois doesn't charge tax. Yeah, so in Texas it's very freaking. Oh my God, it's such a joke. So for pest control services, pretty much anything you use, like chemical application, you have to charge sales tax and collect it and pay it. Matter of fact, I need to get on going ahead and paying mine because it's due like the 15th or 20th, something like that. Oh God, it's such a joke. But yeah, and then like for exclusion services, because that's not really classified as pest control, it's more of like just subcontracted, or what do they call it? Pretty much like construction. At the end of the day, we don't have to actually pay sales tax on that, so it makes it just a nightmare, really. But yeah, it's weird down here. That's the one thing in terms of taxes in Texas that I just hate is freaking sales tax, and then of course property taxes, which we don't have any property taxes because we rent our home, but that's actually the main reason we rent, because when I did again, I'm all about cost analysis. When I looked at the cost of owning the home in terms of maintaining the home, taxes, etc., I was like, it's dumb to own a home. It's a very what's that word I'm trying to think of? Contrarian. It's a very contrarian thing, but yeah, I mean, I'm not a big person on owning homes, especially in areas where, or not income tax, but property tax is high. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss anything up there. Covers longer lasting products versus bi-monthly, so you mainly treat exterior and interior on request. For me, if you're asking me, JM, I treat, so this is how we do it for our services. This is where I actually really adopted similar to like a Terminex, quote unquote. Dare I say those words, almost need to put soap in my mouth after saying that, but you know what we do is we go in, we do the inside and outside on the initial service. The inside, how I word it, this is exactly how I warranty it, how I word it. I tell them when we do the first service, we're coming out, we're treating the inside, treating the outside, getting everything started off on the right foot. The reason that we have to treat the outside every quarter is because that chemical will break down after about 60 to 90 days due to sunlight, rain, etc. So we have to come out to maintain that chemical barrier on the outside. However, the stuff on the inside is not exposed to those same weather elements. So usually we do not need to treat the inside every time, nor do we suggest it. But you are warranted on the inside, which means say you have a problem in between the exterior treatments, we'll come inside at no additional cost to you. You can call us back in between services, or if you happen to be home and we're going to be doing your exterior service, we'll go ahead and treat the inside for you. And that's pretty much it from there. And that usually, you know, will satisfy 90-95% of customers. Are there that select few customers who you just know for a fact you're going to treat the inside every single time? You bet your ass, right? There's always that little bit of customers who you just know every single time you go out there, you better allot 1 hour on the schedule because you know they're going to get their money's worth, right? But what do? I'll show you what we do. What we do is oh, you want us to, I'll go ahead and get rid of all this. Hopefully you guys got the point with all that there. But you know what we do? I have fun with those customers because you know what we do is, oh, you know how you were paying this? Well, due to inflation and other things, to help better service you as a customer, this just now went up to this, right? Simple solution, right? Like if you're gonna get what you think is getting your money's worth, we're gonna get our time's worth at the end of the day. So that's a simple solution to that problem. Jack the rate up about 50%. If they stay, it makes it worth your time and your money and your sanity. And if they go, you know, somebody else that's hopefully a better customer will take their spot. That is the beauty of being the owner at the end of the day. My wife was actually joking with me about it because she saw some stuff get put on the schedule by me personally, and she was like, why'd you charge them? I don't even remember what the charge was now, but why'd you charge them, you know, whatever. And I was like, for what? And she was like, for that 1 year payment. And I was like, oh, I could just tell they're going to be, you know, a pain in the ass. Like, they're going to be a pain. So I was like, you know, if you're going to be a pain, you're going to pay that premium price at the end of the day. You know, we already charge, you know, we're not necessarily top of the market for sure, especially if you catch us on an ad or a deal, promo type of period, right? But we're definitely not a premium service, and we're definitely not the lowest or anything either. But if you think you're going to tell us how to do our job, that's where you're definitely going to be paying a premium. And she's like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, you'll definitely trust me. You'll catch on to those type of, you know, calls for sure. And hopefully, like I say, you guys are liking the stream so far. If you are, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button. If you're tuning in, I see we got about 10 to 15 of you tuning in right now. If you're just tuning in, if we get this stream up to at least 10 plus likes before the end of the stream, on our website, griffinbthomas.com, I'm going to post our you know, little easy sales script. It's super easy to remember. You guys can print it out. It'll be totally free, not charging for anything for that, of course. And you'll be able to print it out and just memorize that bad boy. Like I said, it's more so for those of you that either A, are going to be hiring people like spouses and whatnot, to, answer phones for you. Like my wife, we literally made this for my wife, and she takes and fills it out and puts notes and all that type of stuff on there, and it'll help them tremendously. Or if you're like me and you started out as a pest control technician and you just didn't have any sales experience, and when you listen to your old phone calls and you hear a lot of ums and it cuts out all that BS. And then once you get those first few calls under your belt, I should say, you'll start having fun with this. So definitely smash that like button. We're up to 7 likes so far. Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I see we have some newer questions. How's it going there, Aaron Tucker? I'll answer your question here in just a second. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything up here. Oh, I did miss some stuff up here. I do interior sharing every time. Rat King, that's what I like to do. Amen. You owe it to your customers and employees to make a profit. Stop feeling bad about it, otherwise you won't be in business for long. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Salvador, being as successful as your business is, I know you got that figured out. Most definitely. Let's see. With so many guys doing exterior only, doing both is starting to be a selling point. This is true, Rat King. However, it becomes a scheduling nightmare. I will warn you guys about that. Doing inside, outside every time, don't get me wrong. Like you said, it can be a selling point. And a matter of fact, you can actually charge more, generally speaking. But, I just got a massive cramp. Like a Charlie horse in my leg. Now you see why I'm drinking the water so much. Whew, that was scary. I hate Charlie horses. But like I was saying, gosh, I hate when weird stuff like that happens on a stream. Like I was saying, though, it becomes a scheduling nightmare once you get, and I'm interested to hear what Salvador has to say about this, because I know his company's pretty successful and he has multiple employees and whatnot. I want to get his take on this as well. It definitely becomes a scheduling nightmare. These are the customers who, they always have to either have a weekend appointment or either early morning or late evening, because, people are slowly but surely starting to go back to work, right? So, either A, they have to trust you enough to give you a key or a keypad, or anymore it's becoming common where people can open their garage from their phone, which is super useful, but it can still be, when you start getting hundreds and thousands of customers, it starts to really become a scheduling headache, which is why, like I said, this is how we word it, guys. And I might even put this in the script too for you guys. Like I said, smash that like button so you guys can, get this script for free. Like I said, not going to charge you guys. Don't charge you guys for that kind of stuff on this channel or anything. We'll post it on griffinbthomas.com. I'll add to the script literally how you get out of doing the inside service every time. This is how you do it. Plain and simple. You can screen record this right now if you want to. So do you guys do inside, outside every time? Okay, so I'm glad you asked that question. Let me explain to you how our service works. So what we do is on the first service, we want to definitely treat the inside just to make sure we're getting everything started off as completely perfect as possible for you, getting rid of all of your issues. And if necessary, definitely call us back after 2 weeks if you're experiencing any live activity still showing up in your home, which leads to the next point about treating inside every single time, which is it's actually really not necessary. The main reason that we have to come out quarterly to begin with is because our chemical residual only lasts about 60 to 90 days due to things like sunlight, rain, etc. Just weather elements in general break down the chemical over a 60 to 90 day period. Therefore, that's where the quarterly service was invented, essentially. So if you end up having any issues in between your services or around the time that we're going to be coming out, we can make sure to come out there and take care of that issue for you at no additional cost. But we're not necessarily scheduling to treat the inside on every single service. One, we don't want to overexpose you to unnecessary chemicals inside your home to begin with. And also, like we said, you have that full warranty as long as you're a customer with us. So in the event that you, like we said, have any inside activity, you just let us know and we'll come back at no additional cost. Simple as that. So like I said, if that sounded good to you guys or good enough to where you can put your own little spin on it, Smash that thumbs up button. Get us to 10 plus likes. That way I'll put this script up. I'll add that to the script for you guys on griffinbthomas.com, which is in my link tree in the description box, by the way. Full of, important links that'll help you guys start your pest control business, grow your pest control business, that kind of thing. Let's see, what else do we have here? So you mainly treat exterior and interior spot treatment, mostly quarters. Main concern for my clients being rural is spiders and scorpions for sure. I do exterior and interior every time. Oh yeah, I already read through that. Let me see. In Canada, our MF taxes are absurd. We pay 25% tax on personal income, like W-2, plus 13% sales tax on everything you buy. My God. It's becoming more communist up there every single day, up in the north border. I've shied away from WSG because of wear and tear, but what's been your experience? Oh, you're asking Rat King. Let's see. I'm selling quarterlies for $1,000 to $50. Wow. From my experience, which is limited, scheduling flexibility cannot be underestimated on your profit margins. If you're training people to expect interiors every time, your efficiency will be so much worse. Remember, you don't want to strive for market share. You want to fight for profit share. True, true. Okay, so here we go. Aaron Tucker. Hopefully you're still tuning in. Aaron, let's see. You said this might be a no-brainer question. I'm looking to start up this year. I'm only planning to get my applicator certification, just the Maryland Core Pesticide Safety and the rodent course. Would I get, let me see, the comment disappeared. Here we go. Would I get fined if I treated for roaches or bed bugs? So every state is different, of course. Check out your Department of Agriculture website, but in most cases you would have to pass what's considered like the core, right? The I call it the everything test, or it's a little bit of everything, your core test, as well as a general pest exam for like pest control specifically. That's how it is here. For example, in the Dallas Tech, or in Texas in general, you have to pass the core. You'd have to pass for every other category. Say I wanted to do lawn and ornamental, I have to pass the lawn and ornamental. Say I want to treat for termites, I got to pass the termite. Say I want to treat for general pests like ants, spiders, roaches, etc., got to pass the pests, and so on and so on. So yeah, every state is going to be different. Definitely pull up your Department of Agriculture website, dive into it. If you don't find a direct answer on that, call them up. Most Department of Agricultures, they're super friendly people for the most part. I know ours here in Texas is generally pretty friendly as well. So if you have like further question upon that, then definitely, call them up and ask them as well. Let's see. Yeah, it's weird that Texas does that. Yeah, Texas is. Yeah, no, our governor, he's not as bad as some other states. California, what else? I could go on, right? Michigan, but he's part of the swamp, whatever is what it is, right? Let's see. Yes, it can make scheduling interesting. Exactly. Have you treated for carpenter ants or WDOs? What's your approach? So I do not do, down here they're called WDIRs, like wood destroying insect reports. I don't do those anymore. I used to. They're just not worth the time in terms of money. We do carpenter ant treatments. They're usually, I'm dealing with one right now actually that is a total pain. I've been out there, I say it's a pain just because I'm not used to having to go out there more than like 2 or 3 times, but I've had to go out there now. I just went out there today. I think it was my 3rd or 4th time, and it is finally improving at least, but my God, I've had to do everything at this one. It's just been, she said that the previous owner just completely, wasn't taking care of the home, but my goodness, they were bad at this house. Let's see. a lot of pier and beam homes, no, actually. Until you get down closer to like what's called Deep Ellum in Dallas, like South Dallas, older parts of Dallas. That's where, once you get south of Interstate 635, that's where you're going to start seeing a lot more pier and beam. For me, since I'm actually in like the newer parts, quote unquote, of Dallas, I would say it's like 10% or less, 5 to 10% of my homes, and I don't do any crawl space work whatsoever. Will not do it. Do you conduct an inspection first before doing a quote when a client asks for targeted treatment for one pest like ants, spiders, etc., not termites or bed bugs? So for general pests, which it sounds like you're kind of referring to, JM, for general pests, what we'll generally do, I just erased all that, of course, but what we'll generally do is just have them we go straight for the yearly. We always go straight for the yearly. Then from there, we'll go ahead and do the subscription plan, and then from there, we will, lean more towards, of course, if we can tell they're not going for anything, we'll throw just one last little bone in there at, the one-time service, right? One-time service, 30-day guarantee. That's going to be the most expensive pricing, usually $200 to $300 at the minimum, and it comes with a 30-day warranty. All of that type of stuff, essentially. But yeah, that's generally how we'll do that. We will, for the most part, price it over the phone. It has bitten me in the butt a couple times, not gonna lie, but 99% of the time, it's not an issue at all. Let's see. We sometimes do dust treatments inside. If a customer cannot vacate, that plus glue boards get you pretty far. Okay. Rat King, you mean soy? Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Griffin, with your pitch. We usually just tell customers that bugs live and breed on the outside and flower beds. That's our main concern. However, we can treat inside whenever. Exactly. Would love you to do live on Discord so we can all share the mic. Yeah, no, I've been debating doing that, as a matter of fact. I brought it up a couple of times on streams and other videos and stuff. I think I've even brought it up in either Discord or Facebook once or twice too. Every time I think about it, it'll be like right now, nighttime, right? And then it just literally slips my mind. You guys can all, by the way, for those of you in Discord, you can hop in that anytime in terms of the audio chat as well. As far as I know, you should be able to hop in there at any time. It doesn't have to be like just me, in there talking or anything. You guys can, if there's 5 or 10 or however many of you all in there that, you're just kind of bored throughout the day and you want to chat with each other on Discord, I believe I have the voice chat opened up to where you guys can, chat it up in there. Now, hopefully I don't have to start putting mods or anything in there. Don't get too crazy, abusing each other in there or anything like that. It's not the Pest Control Humor Depot or anything like that in there, but yeah, if you guys ever want to chat in there too, of course there's the text chat in Discord, but also there's a voice chat in ours as well. They expect you to be the authority, so just tell them what you do. Exactly. Don't let them dictate. Exactly. No, that's what I tell me and my brother and cousins that are in pest control. We all have this conversation all the time. We are one of the only one of the only industries within the service sector where we let the customer tell us how to do our job. Like, the customer thinks that they can tell us, spray here, spray here. Oh, did you spray here? Oh, did you spray here? Let me do my job. Do you tell your electrician, hey, I think you should put the wire in over here. Don't put it over here. No. Do you tell your security team that does, if you have security monitoring around your home or whatever, do you tell them how to hook up the cameras and everything? No. Do you tell your plumber how he should be, hopefully not for all of these things, right? Because it's like, you're not the professional at the end of the day. So it's like, do I have some of those? Of course, yes. I mean, there's, you can try to filter them out the best you can in terms of raising prices and this and that and the other, but to some degree, you're always going to have, those little headaches. It's just, it always boggles my mind. Pier and beam construction. Yeah, I do not. I hate pier and beam. How's it going, Tony Torres? Man, it's a hard time for me keeping up in the chat with you guys. Let's see. Pier and beam. I'm interested in purchasing a pest control business that's been around for 20 plus years. What are some key questions to ask to gauge if the company is viable? So, depending on where you're located, you can actually sit down with, what do they call these people? They have a, specific, there's a profession for this essentially, where they will go and analyze a business and let you know what it's worth. And it's usually not too expensive. I know here in the Dallas, Texas area, there's multiple of them. But if you're able to get somebody like that involved, you're going to be looking for things such as, of course, like what is their EBITDA? What is, how many customers do they have in terms of true contract value, year-over-year contracts? This is why, I suggest whenever starting your business, build a business. Like, even if you think, I'm never going to sell my pest control business, build it like you are going to sell it. Because, for example, bless my grandfather, but the dude, he's stubborn and he wants to get out of his business. The problem is he doesn't have a business worth selling because he has kept his business the same way for 40, however many years, 30, 40 years now. And he has customers that just as of a couple years ago where he goes out there every single month. So that's already one turnoff. They're monthly accounts, not quarterly. He has no quarterly, no bi-monthly. The closest it gets in terms of that is the yearly Trelona stations, which me and my cousin had just turned him onto Trelona a few years ago, as well as rodent baiting. But he has customers that were paying, like, just as a couple of years ago, they were paying like $20 to $30 per month for him to go out there every month. Now, he does nothing practically on the outside, which blows my mind. But he goes in and does an inside treatment, and the business, he thinks the business is worth like $100,000, but it's just not. It's not worth anything, as a matter of fact. It's worth it's worth whatever you'd be willing to pay for the customer list. And I know that hurts him, to hear that. And I hope, in all honesty, he doesn't see this video, because I know he'll probably get mad at me, telling the world. But because, like I said, he's a stubborn older man. But at the end of the day, how he built his business was not to sell, and that's what he got at the end of the day. So how do you build your business and to answer your question, Tony, I'm answering it, but I'm also helping those that are looking to start a business, how to structure it properly, in terms of to get the most out of their business as well, which is going to help answer your question as well. So hopefully you're still tuning in and sticking around for that. For example, us getting customers to pay for a year up front, companies that are looking to buy other companies or individuals, they love that. They love locking in the money for as long as possible. 1 year, 2 year, however long. Of course, having the contracts there is going to help, but nothing looks better than seeing once a year 500, 550, 550, 650, over time, year after year, customers paying for 1 year, and not to mention the prices going up too over time, right? I was going to write it out, but there's really not much to write at the end of the day. It's a matter of, just, to me, it's common sense for business, but for some reason, again, a lot of smaller guys, in terms of one-man shows specifically, as a one-man operator, you can grow your business to sell. There are plenty of one-man operators who they grow a solid 500 plus customer route. Say for example, I'm not going to name any names, but say you have a 500 customer route and the average contract value is $650 a year, right? Which, by the way, is not too bad. for mostly, general pest route, that is going to come out to, what does that come out to? Let me run the numbers really quick. Just did this recently, but it's been a while. 650 times 500 customers. That's 300. So like I said, this just goes to prove you can easily make, in terms of sales, 300 plus a year. Depending on, of course, where you're located and everything. But $325,000 per year. Do you think that is not an attractive business to sell? Whenever these people, of course, it's not saying every single customer is $650 a year, right? This is just the average. That's the cool thing about using CRMs like Gorilla Desk and everything, is you can see what your average contract value per customer is. So if you have a route of 500 customers, which is not a very populated route, by the way. 500 customers, if those, let's just say, in a perfect world, they're all, quarterly customers where you're going out there every 3 months, that's only about 125 customers per month, right? Or no, 130 something, right around there, 125, 140 customers per month that you're servicing. Like, it's not a massively huge number. Now, obviously, again, this is assuming a lot, but this is a real example here. 500 customers, $650 a year, that's $325,000 a year. That is gross, obviously, that's before all expenses and everything. But the fact that you have them on contract, and if they're paying you for a year up front, there's not a businessman or, if you're an acquisition company that would not want to buy this company. And depending on the numbers and everything, you could probably get somewhere, let me run the math, give me just a second here, I'm trying to run the numbers. Oops, shit, gotta restart. Give me just a second here. 325. You probably get, at the bare minimum, probably $568,000. That's at the bare minimum, in all honesty. I'm trying to keep it on the low end, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty low, in all honesty. Let me run it again. So 568, just keeping that number in mind. 568 to about $750,000. So there is a range there for sure. Just like I said, this is just quick math. Like, don't take it too seriously or anything like that. But 568K to 750K for your exit. Like, do you think that is, for Tony, for example, just, again, we're keeping it very basic here, but if you found a business that you had customers locked in at an average rate of $650 a year, and they have been paying year over year. The average customer, by the way, in this example, has been a customer for you said the business you're looking at is 20 plus years old, so it's probably even more established in terms of how long customers have been with them. But let's just say the average customer has been with them for 3+ years. Average customer's been with them for 3+ years at $650 a year, which is $325,000 a year. Would you not be willing to pay? Now you, Tony, being an individual, I don't know if you have an acquisition company. I don't know anything about your situation or anything, but I know the big boys, they will be willing to pay definitely in between that range, just from numbers that I have heard. It's not anything that I've had offered to me. I'm not even close to that number yet, but just from numbers that I have heard from other players in the industry, you can definitely, get that type of premium on your business for sure. Which, by the way, if you want to know in terms of what the multiplier was on that was a multiplier on gross sales of 1.75 to 2.25. So not a crazy number at all. That was just, again, keeping it very, very basic. Some companies will do it based again off of your EBITDA and all that type of stuff. So again, we kept it very basic there. But please, guys, if you're gonna start a pest control business, just even if you think you're never gonna sell, build it like you're gonna sell it, because you never know what's gonna happen. Like, you never know at the end of the day. Have everything set up in place where, say, heaven forbid, something happens to you where you don't get home to your family or something like that, your wife or somebody will be able to get what they can get out of, protect your family in terms of course you can have life insurance and all this other, BS at the end of the day. But like, I don't know about you guys, like the number one thing for me is knowing that like I'm the one that's taking care of business and taking care of my family at the end of the day. So like I say, even if you don't think you're ever going to want to sell, just start it the right way, build it. The beauty is most of you haven't started your business who watch the channel, and even those of you that have started, you're early enough in the game where you can easily turn it around. Say you have no service agreements or any type of contracts or anything, and you're not doing proper cost analysis, and you find out that you're really not making much money on your business at all. You're still early in the game, most of you that are watching, where you can turn it around, right? So definitely, if there's one thing you take from tonight's stream, is structure everything properly to protect your assets. There's a reason why it's called an asset at the end of the day. You can either lose your ass or protect your ass, right? So, I cannot stress that enough. And I see we got about 15 of you tuning in. Like I said, we're not at 10 likes yet. We get to 10 likes, we're gonna put on GriffinThomas.com, or we're going to add to this if you are just joining in. We're going to add this to GriffinBThomas.com, our little quick and easy form that you're going to have your people that answer the phone. If it's you as a technician who's starting a business, answering the phone, because believe me, if you're a technician, those first couple sales calls, if you have no script, it's going to be horrendous. You're going to get slaughtered out there your first couple of calls. But if you have some type of script that you can at least go off of, then after you get those first few calls under your belt, like we said, it'll become a lot easier for you. And like we said too, we're going to add to this script for you before we publish it on the website for you guys. I'm going to add how we manage to get away from having to do the inside outside, or we do the outside every time obviously, but not having to go and do the inside every time. Because like you see in the chat, if you scroll through the chat, what we were talking about a little bit ago is, if you're getting a bunch of customers on your route where you're having to do the inside every single time, it's a freaking nightmare. Oh, we just hit it. There you go. We just hit 10 likes. Keep on smashing that like button. Do your boy a favor. We've been live for over an hour and a half now. Do your boy a favor, hit that like button. If you haven't already, subscribe. That way you won't miss any future live streams or anything. Let's see. I feel like I'm missing some. Oh, man, the chat just loaded. Wow, I am behind on the chat tonight. Oh, my goodness. We got a lot to go tonight. Drink water. Yeah, I'm just now to where JM said drink water and take potassium, magnesium when I was cramping up a little bit ago. And yeah, no problem, Aaron. Yeah, man, wow, I'm behind on the chat. It just loaded for me. Let me see. Let me catch up. Let's see, JM, you said you wanted to, oh, okay. I am a skeptic and have worked for shady companies. Yeah, no, and I mean, you're fine, in all honesty. It's just, that's one thing I stress on this channel is, we just keep it real over here. If you look through my entire YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, everything, like none of it is any of this pipe dream BS. We keep it 100 over here. And we plan on keeping it that way as long as possible. Like I said, I mean, I didn't even want to start selling any type of services or anything, but so many people are requesting for like consultations, Some of you guys recently been asking about building websites and that kind of thing, which is why we created the griffinbthomas.com website. And plus, we want to start teaming up with like Gorilla Desk, for example. We have an affiliate code with Gorilla Desk now where you can get 2 weeks of the pro version of Gorilla Desk for free. I'm trying to start linking up with a lot more companies now that I'm pushing, around 2,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome, by the way. Like, we are flying up the list in terms of subscribers. But I'm starting to slowly get some quote unquote recognition from some, smaller but, pest control brands, if nothing else. And hopefully over time we'll start getting some more affiliate codes for you guys to get some discounts and that kind of thing, which is why we also created a link tree. That way, instead of, just spamming the description box full of freaking links, I just created a link tree. That way, if there's anything that you guys are wondering, is there any discounts or anything that I, have affiliates with or whatever, you can get some discounts through those. But yeah, no, I'm trying to keep it as authentic and 100 as possible for you guys. There's no brand that means more than your personal brand at the end of the day. Like, even with the whole affiliate thing and shit, like, if there's ever a brand that comes to me, I mean, you guys don't even understand. Like, now that I've got almost 2,000 subscribers, the amount of just BS brands that come my way trying to, like, buy little 1-minute ads or, dedicated video to them and this and that. And I go and look at their shit and I'm like, I would never promote this, right? Like, I mean, it's just awful. Like, there's so much BS out here anymore. But yeah, I'm trying to definitely always trying to keep it 100 over here for you all. But I appreciate it. Let's see. I really love Alpine WSG. Have you experienced or do you know of any German roach resistance to it in your area? I do not. I've never not gotten rid of a German roach infestation with, my lethal combo for them is Alpine WSG mixed with Teco Pro IGR. As long as you're mixing in any kind of IGR, that is usually going to be very, very good. That, and then of course, doing stuff like using some type of bait. I love using glue boards, making what I call roach motels, where it'll be one of those fold up glue boards that are nice and cheap, and then we'll just inject some of that bait in the glue board, and man, that thing catches a whole lot of them. And not to mention Teco Pro, what I like about that is it's very cheap. I mean, you can even get it on Amazon. I think I have it linked either. Let me see, I'm looking at my description box right now. Yes, I have it linked down towards the bottom of my description box. It says, get Teco Pro IGR on sale. On Amazon, I don't know if the sale's still running. Let me actually pull up the link for you guys here. I believe it was only like $45. Let me see, $48.99 is what it's running for right now for the 16-ounce bottle, which I believe that's the only bottle they make is 16 ounces. But $48.99, that's like the best price I can usually find it for. Occasionally you can find it for $45, but that's with 1-day shipping as well. I actually just bought some of it recently, which is why I linked it in the description box for you guys. But yeah, I love Teco Pro. It's so much cheaper than like Gentrol. Gentrol, I forget how much Gentrol even is now. What is it, like $80 or something like that? I might be overestimating how much it costs. Actually, let me look it up because I don't want to guess. Gentrol IGR. Gentrol is between, it looks like 80 to 90. So I was actually pretty spot on. Let me see. And it's 16 ounces too, if I remember right. So yeah, I mean, you're literally getting not the same product, they're different chemicals, right? But you're getting a good quality IGR for literally about half the price. That's what I love about Teco Pro. Let's see. And if you guys hear any random thuds or anything, we got a full house right now. My daughter's birthday is this weekend, and we have some family in town, and a lot of kids in the house right now, so I apologize if y'all hear anything in the background. Let's see. Pier and beam is a type of construction. Yeah. I love pier and beam and joint, or I have pier and beam, interior beam and joint here in my home. I have an unfinished basement. Oh yeah. Yeah, no basements in Texas. Yup. Let's see. Oh man, y'all been chatting it up here. Tony Torres, great breakdown, gives me more perspective. Thanks. Yeah, no, not a problem at all. Always a pleasure to help. Hopefully, you guys, like I said, have been enjoying the stream. If you have been, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. Lets me know and lets YouTube know that you guys like these live streams, and it'll make me keep on doing them. Because as long as you guys like them, I'll definitely keep on doing them for you guys. Rat King says I just use Alpine in baiting. Have not had a need for an IGR. Yeah, the only time that like you really have like a need for the IGR is, in my experience, like in my opinion, whenever the infestation is like pretty bad. I'll say, like, when you walk in and you see a bunch of little babies and stuff crawling around. Yeah, I like to go ahead and whip out the IGR on that point, because I don't use Teco Pro on every single one, because even at $45 to $50 a bottle, it's still expensive, and it adds cost to your service rate. But there are some times where it's definitely a plus to have. It's one of those things where you can never have enough tools in the arsenal, right? I would love to get a Ford Maverick hybrid. Yes, those are pretty cool, I think, especially not for me. For me, unfortunately, I found out I definitely need a full-size pickup. We're actually looking at the idea of selling both of my vehicles, since we're probably not going to have another technician until at least spring of next year. The plan right now, me and my wife have decided like she's going to really become like the administrative person for the business. Like, I'm still going to do a lot of stuff on the back end too in the evenings and stuff and early mornings, but she's going to be kind of like the main scheduler, CSR, like kind of the admin person, especially now that our 4-year-old's starting school next week. But she's going to be doing that, and then I'm literally going to be running my, excuse the language, running my dick into the dirt, running the services until there's just not enough time for me to do everything that I need to do from a business standpoint, be it doing YouTube for you guys, be it uploading content on my website, because my wife, I'm not having her worry about doing like website content for our Preferred Pest Management website or anything. With all the experience that I've gotten over the last couple of years, like that's definitely going to be all me still. But we're going to get to a point where, I'll know when it's really time to hire somebody. So there's just really no need right now for us to have 2 trucks. Since things don't work out with our technician and whatnot, it's just like, why carry that extra insurance payment, car payment, etc. when, my other truck, my main service truck, the Chevy Colorado, it's up to about 135, 140,000 miles now, so it's not getting any younger. And we need a full size, like an actual full size, not just a 4-door. We thought the Nissan was going to cut it. It is very small, to say the least. But I do love the Ford Maverick, I think. I haven't experimented with it or anything, but I've heard some pretty good things about it for pest control. A buddy of mine, how's it going? 1 hour dry floors. A buddy of mine got a Ford Maverick hybrid. He uses it to do huge development every day. Loves it. Cool. Oh, that was for German roaches. Oh, yeah, for German roaches. No IGR, that's crazy. Crossfire for... I've not used Crossfire. Only use Crossfire for bed bugs. Yeah, Crossfire works great for bed bugs. I don't know if it works well for anything else. Let's see. I've seen pest companies in my area. Yes, I've seen a lot switching to the Maverick. The Maverick and then the new Frontier as well. And Colorado, I noticed Terminix switched to the Colorado recently. Colorado and Tacoma, I believe, is what Terminix in my area has been switching to. I want to make sure I didn't miss any other comments in here, because I know I was trying to hurry up and catch up in the comments. Definitely trying to get away from one-time treatments. I know what you mean, JM. We have our customers without a service list is incredibly too big. We've got like Let me pull it up here on Grill Desk. We were just looking at this the other day. Let's see. Customers. Oops. It's going to make me log back in, isn't it? So customers with a service, we're up to about 270 now. Customers without a service, 317. So that number is incredibly too big. Now, I will say we've gotten a lot better at this because, like I said, with selling it with the yearly, for a while I wasn't even really pushing yearly. I didn't even think about it. And then my cousin was telling me that a company in Missouri called Steve's Pest Control, they sell pretty much nothing but yearly. So I was like, man, that's a good idea. I was like, you can phrase it in terms of, yeah, we can do a one-time treatment, but why would you do a one-time treatment when it only comes with a 30-day warranty? It's like half the cost, damn near, of 1 year of service, but with the 1 year of service, you're getting a full 365-day guarantee. So sure, you're paying just over double, but you're getting over 12x the coverage in terms of the warranty. Like, it's genius. Like, that has really changed the game for us in terms of selling recurring versus selling one-time services. Like I said, I just had a one-time service today. Charged them. It was a smaller home, so I just said with no warranty on top of that, $199 plus tax. Took me about 25 minutes to do the treatment. I'm not gonna complain at the end of the day. Plus, with the one-time treatments too, guys, take care of them, because I do find that a lot of our one-time services, I got one tomorrow, who, they come back. Though, even if they only have you come out once or twice a year, if you're charging $200 to $300 per treatment, say they have you come out once a year, that's $200 to $300 a year. They have you come out twice a year, that's $400 to $600 a year, right? So, some people just have their preferences at the end of the day, and we can only word it, manipulate it, whatever phrasing you want to use so much before, they're just not going to go with you at all. And that's obviously what we don't want, because if nothing else, it's valuable to still have the contact information. So, let's see. Scroll down here. Feel free to call my phone tomorrow after 10. Ask for Roger. It's been a good chat so far. I don't even have any questions yet. Yeah, no problem, my world. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to let me know. 10 a.m. Not tonight. What's your website? Yeah, no. And of course, I don't know if all of y'all in the chat are in our Discord or our Facebook group. Those are totally free to join, of course. So if you have, y'all can network in the Discord group and our Facebook groups as well. Like I was mentioning, I'm trying to see here in our Discord. Oh, apparently some of you all were in Discord throughout the stream as well about an hour ago. So yeah, we do have a voice channel in there. It's just a general voice channel. So you guys can, in Discord, literally, open that chat. And if some of you all have time, you can literally go into the chat and just say, hey, anyone have time to hop in for a live chat? And like I said, that voice channel, it's wide open. It doesn't have to be like me in there unlocking it or anything. That voice channel within our Discord is wide open for you guys, as long as, of course, y'all aren't being a bunch of DIKs to each other or anything like that. But let me see, get off of that, go back to the chat here. How's it going, Sid Orwin Jr.? How's it going? Just got my pest control company insured today. Besides TDA and county clerks, what other filings to become fully legal and operate here in Texas, DFW specific? It never hurts to get your DBA, you're doing business as. If you're in DFW like we are, depending on which county you're in, you're going to want to go, or you may have done that already because you said and county clerks. So you may have already taken care of your DBA, but if you haven't taken care of the DBA, that's just something else to, make sure no one else tries to take your company's name or anything like that, of course. There's a little more to it too, of course, but DBA is done, Johnson County. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Of course, you could register your LLC to get an EIN and all of that stuff. That will help, of course, in terms of business credit and types of things. Because if you try to apply for a legit business credit cards, business bank account, that kind of thing, they're going to want a federal EIN to know that you're a legit business. I didn't see if I don't think you mentioned that. Yeah, it didn't show that you mentioned that. You may have already done that. To me, that's kind of like, quote unquote common sense, but some people don't, they've never set up an EIN, so you don't know what you don't know at the end of the day. You'll be seeing Arna pest control vans, and here you say, yeah, man, I'm sure you know, Sid, there are so many companies down here. It is insane. But like I told my brother, DFW is so big that it's like an entire state of its own. Just the population of the DFW Metroplex, just to put in perspective how big DFW is, it's bigger than the state of Missouri, like in terms of the amount of people, like where I'm from, the state of Missouri. So it's like, that's just freaking mind blowing. But yeah, no, that'll be awesome. Let's see. I want to see Rat King's website now. The JM said it looks pretty. Let's see. Sorry, I don't trust Ford, but I will go Tacoma. Yeah, the Tacomas are pretty nice too. Said EIN is done as well. Thank you for the feedback. Is Secretary of State required? That website. Oh yeah. I thought you mentioned that. I forget what it is that you have to file with the Secretary of State. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've done it now. It's been like 3 years. But yes, there is something that you do have to do with the state, or state Secretary of State. It is, yes, it's a pain in the ass. I know what you're talking about. The other thing is the Texas Comptroller, because we have to charge sales tax on pest control services. Sid, we have to collect, unfortunately, and pay sales tax on pest control, not exclusion services, but anytime you're doing pest control, termite control, even rodent control with, what do you call it? Like rodenticide. Anytime you're doing any type of those services in Texas, you have to charge and collect sales tax. When you're doing exclusion services, you do not have to, pay sales tax. So yeah, you will want to do that with the Texas Comptroller. Need to call my older clients. Yeah, and I would use SMS marketing for that as well, JM. Let's see. Oh, my site is hilarious. Supermom and Super Pop. That's what we're going for. Man, I gotta look it up now. What do you say his website is called? Let me find it here. I saw you mention it. Rat King Pest Control. Let me look it up. Is it .com? Rat King Pest Control. Oh, here we go. Right here. I think I found it. Let's see. Rat King, we gotta get them reviews up. Assuming this is you, and Vaughn Orme. Let's see. If this is you, like I said. Whoa, wait, you dropped your text. Oh, I didn't even see your comment up there, JM. You dropped your text. Yeah, and in all honesty too, it's actually working out for the better anyways. Let's see. I want to look at Rat King's website here. He said yes, we're in Vaughn Orme. Yeah, Rat King, we need to get some reviews on that Google Business Profile. You are in double digits at least. I'll give you that. A lot of businesses in our industry are not. Let's see. Oh, I like that picture y'all uploaded of the family too, with the little one on the way. Let's see. Yeah, no, I like it. And you got your map embedded, which is good to have. Yeah. Right on. And you got a FAQ, you got the reviews, you got the services. One thing I would suggest on here, Rat King, get you your service locations, which I know you've tuned into the channel long enough to know what I'm referring to. But for people that haven't, we definitely suggest having service location pages. In that way, you can start building depth in your website and start running a lot more organic traffic to the website as well, from more than just the Google Business Profile. Let's see. Griffin, hear me out. Square has Afterpay, and I'm strongly thinking about this. Afterpay finances larger projects at 6% and breaks up costs into 4 monthly payments. So I'm seriously thinking about it. Let me ask JM, with that Afterpay that Square offers, how do I want to ask the question? Do you get the money with that Afterpay? Like, do you get all the money from Square? Like, say the customer signs that or whatever with Square and then they don't pay it. Do you still get paid for that? And like Square just has to, they deal with all of the collections and all of that? Or do you, like, how does that work? I would have to look more into that. 6% it's not that high really, but this is for yearly acquisitions. Yeah, that'd be good for like yearlies. That'd be good for larger like termite jobs, exclusion jobs, that kind of thing. Exactly. I honestly wish I had this luxury to network. I miss this so much. Yeah, if you're not in our Discord, JM, I know you're in our Facebook group now, but if you're not in our Discord, definitely hop in the Discord. There's a lot more in terms of activity in Discord. I think it's just because it's so easy. It's literally built just like a giant chat, essentially, where Facebook, like Facebook groups is all right, in my opinion, but a lot of like what Facebook has done with like showing you what they consider as like most relevant and all that BS, like it makes it where you don't see a lot of posts unless if you go into the group, change your filter to show you like every post from most recent to oldest. Like you miss a lot of conversation on Facebook. Unless if you really, like I say, know how to filter everything and search for things. Where with the Discord, it's just a giant chat essentially. So yeah, if you're not in our Discord, definitely hop in there. We have a lot. We're getting more and more of you literally every single day. I think we're pushing like 250 to 300 of us in there now. Of course, there's not that many people just minute by minute in there, but it's seriously a great platform. I love Discord. Let's see. I need transition so bad. Oh my god, if you get liability insurance, stay far away from Farmers and Tapco. You have been warned. Still mopping up that nightmare. Okay, yeah, that's good to know. And let's see, you said for liability. Are you talking about for your business liability insurance, JM? Griffin, ever thought of a series grading website? That's actually a good idea. I never thought about doing that actually, Rat King. Might have found our next series to do, as a matter of fact. I was literally just thinking of ideas because I was like, we're doing these live streams, of course, which you guys definitely seem to be loving the live streams. They're getting more like watch time than like even the videos, which by the way, I see we got like 10 of you roughly. It's going back and forth between like 9 to 15. So I don't know exactly how many of you are tuning in right now. Let me know if you guys watched, I think it's our most recent video. The one where I did like the live sales call or whatever. let me know if you guys, be completely honest too. Did you guys like that video? Do you want me to do like more videos, maybe like that, where I do like a live sales type of, or not live, obviously, because we don't do it on live stream because we have to edit stuff out for, privacy reasons of the customer and whatnot. But do you guys want me to do more like sales videos like that? Did you like the editing as well? I don't know if you guys noticed, I recently created an intro for some of our newer videos. I've been testing that out, and outros, and just I'm trying to make the content like more polished for you guys when we do like a true video form versus, of course, live stream. You can just kind of hop on, you can use a selfie stick, whatever the case may be. But I know with like video form content, of course, I want to make that as polished and whatnot for you guys. So definitely just want some feedback from you guys in terms of that. If you guys, like I said, if you've seen that video, if not, feel free to check it out. But I felt like that was one of my best edited videos so far, so I was just wondering if you guys like that video. Let's see. But yeah, no, Rat King, that's a great idea. I might do that. But the only thing is like, I don't want to make people feel bad either about their pest control website. I guess what I could do is I could like make a short video just saying, for free, of course, because it's for YouTube. I'm not going to charge you to do a YouTube video about your website, but like I can just post a short video saying, calling all pest control business owners, if you want me to rank your website on these key factors based on, my knowledge of SEO and all that type of stuff, let me know what your website is in the comments, and, I'll take note of it and do a video specifically for your website. That might be what I'll do. I might either make it like a short or a video, or maybe both. I don't know. We'll see. Because, yeah, that's the only thing is I would want people's consent, right? I don't want to just start like, say someone's website is just not good. Like, I don't want to start bashing someone's website and them not have asked for it, right? Whereas, if someone's like, hey, give me the truth, be brutally honest, I need to know, I need to learn, right? Because I'm that type of person. Like, my wife, she's totally opposite. You got to kind of be gentle with her, kind of pump her up, that kind of thing. Or me, just with how I grew up, my father was really kind of the, you're gonna learn type of father. Me, since I grew up like that, like I'm like, look, tell me the truth. Like, don't sugarcoat this shit. Like, tell me what needs to, don't be an asshole, but like, tell me what needs to be done, right? So yeah, no, I'll definitely, I'm gonna have to figure out how to make that a series, because that'd be cool. Let's see. JM says, Rat King, seriously, because my website on Wix needs help and I want WordPress, but it's more money. Yeah, WordPress is definitely the more superior to Wix, but I mean, Wix is still good. It's just WordPress is like you said, JM, it's definitely a premium. But, well, I mean, let me put it this way. It's not that WordPress itself costs a lot of money. It's the plugins that start adding up. If you want to create, that's why, like, people were asking how much would I charge to actually create websites. I'm like, I hate building, it's not that I hate building websites, but I hate to have to build websites for you guys or other people that, inquire about me building a website, because, like, unfortunately, if you want a good website, it's going to cost a lot of money. Like, it is, unless if you're gonna, like I say, watch all of my content minute by minute and follow along and, do everything that's in those videos, which I haven't even gone into a lot of it because I just know a lot of people aren't going to do it. If you guys want me to, I can even do a series on that, literally just showing you how to set up a host, who I like for hosting websites versus who I don't like, what the costs are, all that type of stuff. Plus, it kind of starts to veer away from what the actual content of this channel is all about, which is the pest control business side of things and entrepreneurship and whatnot. That's more of the technical side. But, in terms of having somebody build a website for you, like if you're wanting a legit website that over time, the more content that you add to it is going to produce actual results in terms of leads, phones ringing, that kind of thing, it's going to take a lot of money. Like that's why I don't ideally want to build websites for you guys. Like I would do it. Like there's a reason why it's on my website in terms of, on griffonthomas.com. It's listed as a service that we can do for you guys. But some people have asked, and I'm like, like how much would I charge? Like I don't know where to get started. Like how many pages do you need? How much how much content do you need? Do you want to post content weekly, monthly, daily? Like, there's a lot that goes into a website at the end of the day to do it the right way. Let's see. In Illinois, you have to send certificate of insurance with your declaration. Yeah, we have to do the same thing here in Texas. Let's see. Griffin, you have my full consent on the website. If you want me to, if you're still in here, Rat King, if you want me to, I can do a little breakdown. Of course, I'm not screen sharing, just I'm on my phone for this live stream where I have my laptop right here. So if you want to, I can at least go over it right now on the live stream, or we can do it in another live stream or video where I could do, like a screen share type of thing. That's the other downside too of, I guess, doing a series like that is I would have to, I have to think how I want to do that. Because I do have some plugins, like SEO plugins, where I can see some of the back end stuff of websites and stuff like that in terms of SEO and all that, like SEO Quake and SEO Monster and some of these other ones. But it'd be interesting. JM says you get the money up front with Afterpay, and Afterpay handles the collections. Yeah. I'm in Discord, so I will re-explore that. Yes, for business general liability. I saw that, and I posted questions for that clip. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even think I've looked at comments. It's been a busy day today. Let's see. Sure, whatever works for you. Do it anytime. Didn't like that loud boom boom music at the end. Yeah, I was trying to edit the volume. The volume wasn't real bad for it at the beginning, but for some reason the music at the end was a little loud. I was trying to get it to tune it down, but it would either make it extremely loud or extremely quiet. Who knows? It may have been because it was 1:40 in the morning when I was doing it and I should have been asleep. But let me see. I can at least take a look. Let me pull up your website again, Rat King. Take a look. And I'll probably do a specific video for you too on it. Just so, like I say, you can see the actual screen share. What I'm looking at. Do you use OBS? Yep. Yeah, that's the program we use for whenever we do our live streams. And like I said, I'll do a specific video for it too, but while we're live real quick, I'll take a quick look at least. Like I said, if you want to have notebook, paper or whatever, and write down some notes real quick, I can tell you some quick, easy ones right from the get-go. Number one, like I said, get some service location pages. What do I mean by that? Any suburb or town or whatever the case may be that you service that has a population over probably 3,000 people, list that location as a service location. Let me see. That's number one. From there, number two, don't just make the service location, make service pages underneath every service location. These don't have to be visible or anything. Like, they're visible, like indexed and whatnot. People could technically find them, but they don't have to be visible on your website, like with a drop down or anything, because of course it'd be drop down, drop down, drop down. What we're talking about, of course, is the website structure, the silo structure. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your service locations. Then you're going to have, say for example, my area, you'd have Pest Control Dallas, Texas. That's your service location. Then you'd have your drop down, Ant Control Dallas, right? So it would say, if you're looking at it from the URL standpoint, it would say www.ratkingpestcontrol.com/ Pest Control Dallas, Texas / Ant Control Dallas, or Ant Control Dallas, Texas. That would be the service page for that location page. Then from there, break it down even further. Make blog posts about those services, or even better, about the pest control in Dallas, Texas. This is like my example in Dallas. So say, for example, one thing, a great idea I just actually, not gonna lie, stole from a competitor was creating blog posts about questions that people ask, like how much does pest control cost in X city, town, county, whatever. These are simple ones that you can do on ChatGPT very quickly. Obviously, you don't just want to copy and paste it, because a lot of times it'll put it in, what would that be, second person, I think. So, you're going to have your blog saying, at Preferred Pest Management, they specialize in, and it's like, no, you want that to say we specialize in, right? You definitely want to proofread it, make sure everything's right, add in your own little touch here and there. But point is, you can make these very quickly using ChatGPT, and you're going to build what's called topical authority. So when you start publishing all this content about Pest Control Dallas, Texas, or Ant Control Dallas, Texas, etc., those pages are going to naturally start getting a boost, which you're going to want to make sure you're internally linking them properly as well. Never link, it's called cross-linking. You don't want to link your, Ant Control Dallas page to Frisco or anything, right? You don't want to cross-link. You want to make sure that it links up like almost like a triangle, right? Think of all of your content that's down at the bottom as your topical content, like, how much does pest control cost in Dallas, Texas? How often should I have my home treated for bugs in Dallas, Texas? Just all these random blog articles at the bottom, right? They're supporting that top page, which is Pest Control Dallas, Texas. Hopefully that makes sense. That's kind of the best way to, Illuminati. No, I'm just playing. That's the best way to kind of describe that, if that makes sense. So definitely start there. That alone will take you a little bit of time, I'm sure, because we're even still working on it to this day. It never ends when it comes to the SEO game. Let me take a look at what else we got here. Oh, one thing I would do as well, have in your header, set a call us now, like a call now button that will, ring your phone right away. Have that at the top of the page. That way if somebody does find you organically through Google search, not through the Google Map Pack, because a lot of people think, why do I need my phone number on my website? Because a lot of people are finding me through the Google Map Pack. They're already going to call, and if they're on the website, they're going to submit a lead. That is totally wrong. As a matter of fact, we get more calls from our website than we do actual, forms submissions. So have a call us now button in your header that, like I said, it'll ring right to your phone immediately. You'll notice that alone will help tremendously. Let me see what else. I will say that one picture that you have on here, at least on desktop form, I don't have a phone near me to pull it up on the mobile side of things. The picture right here is very large. I will say that. I would, in all honesty, I would look to set this up as, if possible on Wix, set it up as 2 columns. And what I would do is I would have this, it'll shrink that image, because of course you have, welcome to Rat King Pest Control, your pest is our quest, and then, a get in touch button. What I would do instead is you could have that picture if you want still, but like I said, set up 2 columns, it'll squish that image, and then maybe put some content in there, get rid of the get in touch button, and instead use your other column to move your form that you have at the bottom, the contact us form, put that in your other column. It'll look actually kind of similar, I think, to what we have on our website. Let me pull up our homepage really quick just to make sure. Not the homepage, actually. Our homepage doesn't have it set up like that. But that's the other thing too, is the homepage, I don't really give a shit about. The homepage is just a homepage at the end of the day. You guys will find the homepage, like, until you're like a really, really big company, like, your homepage really doesn't mean shit. The things that matter the most are your service location pages. Like the areas that you service. Those are the pages that are going to matter the most, followed by your service pages for those locations. Let's see. I want to take a look at everything else. Services. So you have your services. I would, with these services, I can't tell. It doesn't look like these have their own individual page. I would create a separate page for each one. All of your pages need to be at least at the bare minimum about 500 words as well. Let's see. FAQ. Do you know by chance if your FAQ, let me see, it might tell me actually. And you can let me know as well if it's called schema markup. Do you know if your schema, if you have schema markup? Okay, it does say that it does. Okay. It says schema.org. We found several schema.org types. You can validate it. Okay. You don't have a meta description on this specific, which page is this? Okay. So it says ratkingpestcontrol.com/blank. I'm trying to find. Oh, that's the FAQ page. So your FAQ page does not have a meta title or description. So that alone, if you can get that, that's something you can fix like right after the stream on Wix. Just go into your meta description. Well, it says you have a meta title, but it's not showing up. So you don't have a URL. So create a actual URL after your, ratkingpestcontrol.com for the FAQ, because it's just showing up right now as blank-4. You would want that as, ratkingpestcontrol.com/ pest control FAQ, something like that. And then your meta description, of course, you just want to make that to where people want to click on it, put some keywords in there, like here are common pest control questions for services in, whatever area that you service, for example. Let me see. I want to go back to see if we have any questions. I'm on Wix, but I'm on Wix, but I'd love to migrate, and Wix locks you in. In all honesty, it's not as hard to create a new website as it seems, though, and you can at least transfer the host if you are not able to transfer the files over. Let's see, OBS. Yeah, OBS is just a platform, JM, that like YouTubers, Twitch, streamers, all of that, we all use for doing live streams, like from a desktop or from, maybe even like a TV, or, some people do them like from PlayStations, Xbox, that kind of thing. It's just a free platform that people can use to help make streaming a little bit easier. I got deeper into Google Business Profile, made more categories and services under those categories. I need to get rid of stock picks, like you said, and start getting more live picks. For sure, that'll help. And then getting reviews. Can't stress getting the reviews. I really want Google to work for me, but I feel that Google stacks odds against a small business. I mean, that's, again, we talk a lot about mindset on the channel. Cannot stress enough, go into it with the right mindset, JM. I cannot stress enough. Go into it with the right mindset. Just look at, what do I need to do? Okay, I need to get, for example, because, I took a look at your Google Business Profile that one day. I forget the name of your business, like JM Pest Control or something like that. Let me see if I can find it. JM Pest Control. I don't even remember. What is the name of your business, actually? I'm just going JM Pest Control in Illinois. JM Pest Solutions. That's right. That's right. So yeah, I mean, you got 13 reviews. We got to get some more reviews first and foremost. Your newest review was from about a month ago, which isn't like the worst thing in the world, but like I said, we want to try to get at least one review a week. I think even same thing for you actually, Rat King. You were at like 11 reviews if I recall. Definitely cannot stress enough, get those reviews, review velocity. Like I said, don't try to get a bunch of reviews at once or anything. That's all fine and dandy to get like your first like 20 to 50 reviews. You'll notice a huge spike in call volume and everything, and boosting your rankings overall. But if you don't continue to at least get, one review at least every week or two at the minimum, bare minimum, then you're not going to notice very much progress compared to, of course, think about it. Who is Google obviously going to push more? A company that's getting, say, one review a week or two reviews a week, so 50 to 100 reviews a month, or 50 to 100 reviews a year, or a company that's getting, one review per month and, 12 reviews to 50 to 100, right? Of course, they're going to keep pushing that company that's getting more reviews, especially if those are positive reviews. So definitely, that's the main thing. And then, of course, I did see you got products added. That's good. You got a FAQ, one question on there. Yeah, I mean, you've already made a couple changes, it looks like, since I last looked. Definitely start trying to get some more reviews. But yeah, that's just to start. Let's see. Oh, my neck is killing me. I need to get me a new streaming chair if I'm going to be doing these 1 to 2 hour plus streams. Let's see. Totally loving this live. Oh, I appreciate it, as always. Let's see. Oops. Where we go? But why do you build redundancies like that? Because I seen your website on the crawl. It was weird. Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, that's part of, when it comes to the Google game. And again, my website is nowhere near even where it needs to be yet. It's a constant work in progress. In all honesty, if I were to just quit YouTube, just being completely honest with you guys, if I were just to like quit YouTube, say F all this, I'm going to focus all on the business, within 90 to 180 days, I'd probably be getting, real talk here, within half a year at the most, I would probably double my call volume and lead volume. Just from simply, having more time, of course, instead of, we've been live for, 2.5 hours, it looks like, roughly, 147 minutes, roughly. Imagine if I was putting that into the website, I could have pumped out, in 2 hours, I could easily pump out 5 blog articles, easily. With the process that I have set up with prompts on ChatGPT and everything, my website within 180 days, half a year, could be double, its overall depth in terms of that. What it is like we said, it's called topical authority. That's something I want you to look up, JM. I know you like to stay up late, so I know you're going to be up probably at least another 2 to 3 hours. After we get done with the stream tonight, look up topical authority. Specifically, look up this guy, what's his name? Chris Palmer. He also has a YouTube channel. It's called like Chris Palmer SEO or something like that. He talks a lot about topical authority, and as a matter of fact, he actually answered a couple of my questions on his live streams as well. He's gone into like pest control topical authority on a couple of his videos. So definitely shout out to him. I don't even like work with him. I'm not affiliated with him. He's not a friend of mine, like anything like that. I don't know him at all personally. I just know whenever he broke down topical authority, it clicked with me, like it resonated. It made me realize what I was doing wrong in terms of our website, and we've been working massively, and it's been paying off. Like, we've only been implementing his strategies for probably, let's see, we're in the middle of August now. I would say about 3 to 4 months, and our website rankings are already starting to go up tremendously. So the main word of the night for you, JM, is topical authority when it comes to the website. Let's see, great info so far. We tried to use, obviously, not stock photos for sure. Yeah, sometimes it can be difficult. And in all honesty, this is going to sound crazy, guys, especially when it comes to anything online, like website content, Google business profile content, anything like that. It is actually better to use no photo at all than to use stock photos. I know that's going to sound crazy, but if you can't get a real organic photo, post it with no photo. You know, there's worse things out there, but do not, I can't stress enough, if you have stock photos anywhere, get rid of them. It's hurting your website. It's hurting your website, it's hurting your Google organic. I guarantee it. Get rid of just do not use them. It's one thing to use them, you know, like, what are they called? Elements, not full photos. Like if you use, because like for example, I don't know if you guys have heard of the photo editor, what's it called, Canva. They have they have photos, like stock photos, and then there's elements, which is similar to like emojis kind of. It's one thing to use elements in your photos, you know, like for example, if you're creating like a YouTube thumbnail, right? But when you're using just a completely stock photo, imagine for example, you know, it's really the same as like YouTube, for example. Say I posted this live stream and there was no photo with my face in it, anything legit, and I just posted like a pest control stock image. How many of you would have clicked on that live stream? 0, right? So, you know, and I even used to do that crap early on. Even on my YouTube channel, as a matter of fact, you scroll all the way down to the beginning, you'll be like, man, that dude's came a long way with his thumbnail creation. Because I would literally go to like Google Images and, you know, all these different like Pixabay and this and that, and I would just download images and, you know, use them. And I was wondering why no one was watching my shit, why no one would, you know, view websites, this and that. And now that I'm using my own stuff, surprise, surprise, it gets more viewers in terms of YouTube, and it gets more leads for your website because Google rewards that at the end of the day. Let's see. It's tough for me just getting good picks, and I need to make more effort. So one way you guys can do this out in the field too, JM and Rat King and any of y'all, because I see we got about 5 to 10 of you tuning in right now. One way you can go about getting some organic pictures, it's a little expensive, but they make these little drones that will follow you. Have you ever seen like some of those like pest control commercials or like YouTube ads, usually specifically, where it looks like almost like a freaking, literally a drone is like following somebody while they're doing a pest control treatment? You're like, what customer would allow a human to walk around recording them like that, right? They're not. What they do is they have these drones that will follow you. I've been wanting to get one. I'm trying to force myself to just, you know, I'm like, it's a write-off. Fuck it, let's go ahead and buy it. But I never do. I never get around to buying it. But it'll, you know, take videos, pictures, etc. for you. And, you know, you could use that for your website and for ads and everything else. And they come out looking pretty professional. But, like I said, the downside is they're a little expensive. From what I understand, they're usually, you know, for a good one, usually at least $100 to $200 at the absolute minimum. And, you know, if you want a really good one, like for video, for example, you want like 4K video and all that type of stuff. For a good one, you're going to be looking for, you know, usually $200 to $500. So that's the only downside with that. Like I said, I don't even do that currently. I either have my wife take them. I have a tripod set up, of course, for like YouTube and everything. So sometimes I'll, you know, set it up, and on the iPhone you can use a timer and we'll take photos and stuff that way. I have some cool customers as well that'll help sometimes, but it's definitely a grind, but you know, we just got to do what we can at the end of the day. Let's see. Do you think adding articles about pests really helps the search results as much as they claim it does? So you have to do it let's see, my wife takes all our pics. She's an awesome photographer. That's good. Cool. In terms of your question about the articles, so the article has to be done properly. You need to know what people are searching for first and foremost. Like to just create, because I've created, dozens of blogs now, and you have to know what people are searching for, like in that area. That is one thing that I've noticed with even that most recent FAQ, or not FAQ, but pricing article that I literally just came out with today for Saxy. I'll try to remember to post it on our Facebook group and in Discord for you guys before I go to bed tonight. It's a simple, I want to say, let me actually do a SEO quick analysis of it really quick, because I have it pulled up like right here. Let me see. Come on, load up here. There we go. So I need to go down to my Saxy page. How much does pest control cost in Saxy, Texas? View. And then we're going to do a SEO quick analysis. So it only has, where's it at? Density? No. There's no way that it has 1,500 words. My God. Okay, so SEO Quick is tripping. That thing does not have 1,500 words in it. It's saying it does, but it does not have 1,500 words. I promise you guys. They must be including, yeah, that is not 1,500 words. It's probably about a 500 word article, roughly, just very small, short, to the point. You know what I'm gonna do actually? I'm gonna post this in the chat, and I'm gonna pin it. That way you guys can go look at it after the stream. One, you'll see the URL structure that I'm talking about in terms of the structure of that. Oops, I did not mean to 100 my own comment. There we go, pin message. That way you guys can see, one, the URL structure that I'm talking about, but also, the type of article that you're going to want to come out with. Not just, this is just one basic example. What do people search a lot of times when they never used pest control before? How much does it cost? So if someone is located in this example in the Saxy, Texas area, and they type in, how much does pest control cost? Do you not think that article's by itself, optimized properly, will not have a chance to rank well? One, I don't even care necessarily how well that article ranks. It's more so that it's going to build topical authority for the Saxy, Texas location page, right? We're trying to rank those location pages, because when you type in pest control Dallas, Texas, pest control Houston, Texas, wherever you're located, first thing you're really going to see primarily, of course, after the ads and the Google Map Pack, all that, is a bunch of service location pages from your competitors that say, Dallas, Texas Pest Control, or Pest Control Dallas, Texas, something like that, where they have cracked this code on how to get those web pages to rank better. It's not their homepage that's ranking that good, unless if you're like Terminix or Orkin primarily. Because their domain authority is just so high, they get that blessing from Google. But, for those of us that aren't 100-year-old companies, we have to, take a unique approach to it. Let's see, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Oh. Yeah, definitely do Google Search Console as well. Do you have a platform in mind to capture Google reviews on the spot with customers? Because I've sent review links and no response. That's actually a good question, JM. What you can do is, if you have the app Canva, or really any type of like photo editing, or I wouldn't say photo editing, like either Canva is like the only one I can think of, because they're who I use. I created a just simple little page essentially, and it has a QR code. And you can do this as well with business cards. I have a video on the channel actually about how to create a profitable business card. It's primarily to get leads from the business card, but what you could do also is you could create a business card, which we did this as well. It's just a review card that has a QR code on it. When they scan the QR code, it'll take them right to the Google review, the Google business review page, where all they got to do is leave the rating, whatever comment they want to put, and then boom, they can post it. So like for example, what was it, yesterday or the day before? I hadn't gotten a review in a few days, so I was like, man, I need a review. And new customers, they're the best ones who are most likely to give you a review, from what I experienced, at least in my experience. And what I did was I was like, hey, by the way, do you have your phone on you? He's like, yeah. I was like, man, if you scan this and leave me a review right now, I'll knock $10 off of your service, because he's paying, again, for the year up front. And sure enough, he scanned it, and this was post-service, so like, it's not like at the very beginning, oh, hey, leave me a review before you even know if I'm worth a fuck or not, right? But I did that, and, he got his little $10 off, and he actually left a good review, too. Like, wasn't just 5 stars real quick and out of there. Like, he left a pretty thorough review. Took like a minute or two for him to type it out, and you could tell that he was happy to do it. So you definitely still gotta get creative, but yes, there are ways that you can go about doing it, making it smoother. If you use Gorilla Desk, which like we've mentioned, we do have an affiliate link for you guys if you want to try Gorilla Desk for free for 14 days. There's a link in the description box. I believe it's in there. Let me double check. Yeah, it says get Gorilla Desk 14 days free using promo code Griffin, or simply using the link right there. It'll take you, right to Gorilla Desk, where you can get a 14-day free trial. But my point is with that 14-day free trial and that pro plan that they have a review generator where it'll send them an email notification automatically after you close the work order, and it'll request a Google review for you as well. So the main thing is, trying to just, by any means necessary, send it to their email, send it to, their phone. Like we said, create a little business card with a QR code that they can scan it and leave you a review on. All that kind of stuff. Let's see. Do you have a platform? Let's see. So I answered that exactly. Do that, Griffin. I want you to do. To do what? Let's see. I'm busting on Palmer. OMG, I gotta back up. Sorry, I lost you on the review part. Oh, if you're talking about Palmer, the guy that I was referring to was Chris Palmer Chris Palmer SEO, I think is his YouTube channel name. He, like I said, he creates a lot of good content about SEO for your website, and specifically the videos that you're going to want to watch of his are the ones that talk about topical authority. He actually answers one of my questions on one of his live streams and goes over how topical authority would work for the pest control industry, and that video is very helpful. So definitely, feel free to look him up, because like I said, he definitely has some good content for sure when it comes to that. In terms of if you said lost you on the review part, like I said, a second ago, easiest way to do it would be to use, Vistaprint or whoever you use to create business cards. Put a QR code on the business card, give it to them. They'll scan it and get the review. Let's see. Then you started about reviews. I was wanting to get an app. Yeah, as for an app, I don't use any apps or anything. The closest to an app I would have is the Canva app downloaded on my phone. Like I said, I used Canva, and I created like a little thing that, I just show them, and it has the QR code. Pretty much the same thing as creating the business card. It's just that it's free versus the business card. Of course, you have to purchase business cards. In terms of apps, I mean, there's a couple of them out there. Like I've seen on TikTok lately, like TikTok ads or whatever for like these, you know, little cards that pretty much are the same thing that I'm talking about. It's like a business card, and people would just scan it over and over. But in terms of an app, I do not know of an app off the top of my head outside of, like I said, the closest it would get to it is either using Canva or, Gorilla Desk. But with Gorilla Desk, of course, it's just going to send them a email. That's the primary thing. And I will say too, I mean, it's a grind getting reviews. I mean, the main thing is just being consistent, asking every single customer that hasn't left you a review over and over and over. Like, I know in the back of my head, like, this customer didn't leave us a review last time. Let's go ahead and ask for a review again. Like, I will ask over and over and over. Like, I'm more persistent about getting Google reviews, in all honesty, than I am about, like, follow up with, following up for sales and stuff like that. Yeah, so I mean, if they have a Gmail, to your point about on the spot, as long as they're logged into their Gmail account too, like I said, if you have a QR code right there, all they'd have to do is scan it. It'll take them right to the Google review page, as long as you set it up correctly, of course. It'll take them right to the Google review page, and they can leave the review right on the spot using the QR code. That's the closest way. That's the only way, as a matter of fact, that you're going to, I guess Google won't allow that. Yeah, I mean that's the only way that it's really going to be done is through a QR code, essentially. And of course, they have to be, logged into a Gmail account, which most people are nowadays. And don't shy away from customers who give you an AOL, a Yahoo, etc. when you're setting up their account. Because, prime example, the customer yesterday I went out to, we have a Yahoo on file for him, and I was even like, man, I bet he's not even going to be able to leave a review. But sure enough, all he had to do was sign out of his Yahoo, sign into his Gmail, and then boom, he was able to leave a review that way. And, just like that, plain and simple. So, yeah, I hope you all have been enjoying this live stream. If you have and you're still tuning in and you haven't already, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. I see we got 10 of you viewing and we got 10 likes, so I'm sure that, most of you already like the stream, but if you haven't so far, just do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. Let's see, you said you do a referral program, like for our customers, I'm assuming is what you're asking about. In terms of that, yes, we do have a referral program for our customers. What we'll do is we tell them, if you refer us to a customer, or refer us to a customer, refer us to like a friend, a neighbor, coworker, whatever the case may be, stress to that person, hey, let Griffin or let X company, know that I sent you, because, I'll get a credit for that. I was like, just tell them up front that, hey, I get a, $20, $25, whatever dollar amount that you want to give them for a discount, because you get to write that off too. So, you can make it whatever amount you want. Hell, you could say, I'll give you a free service if you want to. I know people that do that. It's whatever amount that you want. I find that $25 is fine. Personally, we get plenty of referrals for people that do that. But yeah, that's what we do. Essentially, we don't like have it where they can, have like a QR code or anything. I've been saying that, or not saying, I've been seeing that, that's another thing on TikTok I'm getting a bunch of crazy ads for, is freaking, setting up a referral, like almost like a website or an app, essentially, where you give a customer their own little referral code, almost like you would for, content creators or something. And, every time they get a referral, it goes right to their account. I was like, that is over the top extra. It is not that serious. How's it going, Mr. Dre? Hey, Griffin, reviews are great. People look in reviews more than great. For real, yeah. Yeah, that is definitely true. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I get from people, Yeah, I found you because I saw you were like the only company that has nothing but 5-star reviews, and I figured your service had to be pretty good. I was like, yep, sure is. Like they just take you for your word just based on the reviews, essentially. Do you network through your chamber or BNI, and what has been your results? So, as a matter of fact, I am horrible when it comes to like having time, first and foremost, to network, because any time that I do have, I pretty much have to like dedicate to, of course, my family, because I just dedicate so much time to work, you guys for YouTube and everything. Like I said, I mean, we've been live for almost 3 hours now, is a prime example. But, we are signed up for a couple of Chamber of Commerce's. I use it primarily for just getting backlinks to our website, to be honest, to like certain web pages of our website. I don't really use it for. I got this sore and it's hurting on my arm, if you're wondering what I'm looking at. But I do have a couple of them that I am a part of. I was trying out BNI or BWI BNI, whatever it's called. Was it BNI? Yeah, there's one here in the Plano, Texas area that I was trying out, but they wanted you to like literally be dedicated to going, every week. Like, and I just told them, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do that. And they're like, well, that's no problem. You can have somebody sit in for you. And I was like, no, like it's literally just me. It wasn't even my wife with me, or like obviously my wife was with me, but like she wasn't doing anything within the business for us at the time. So I was like, no, like it's literally just me, and I'm not gonna be able to make it every week. So like this just isn't gonna be for me. But plus I heard that like sometimes depending on your specific BNI group or chapter or whatever they call them, there can be hidden fees that they don't tell you about, like $50 a week for lunch or breakfast or whatever the case may be, and just all this different stuff. Which, like I said, I mean, I'm not hating on them or anything. I've heard that people can get a lot of work through BNI. It's just, I I know what's working for us at the end of the day, and some stuff can just be kind of gimmicky, in my opinion, almost like it's a business within business, essentially. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm indifferent. I'll put it that way. It's not that I don't like them, but I don't like them at the same time. So, I'm just indifferent. There's things that or it's not, like I said, it's not that I don't like them. It's just there's things that I don't like as well. Always thought BNI was kind of bum, but I don't know. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's yeah. I think reviews are slanted. Yeah, I mean, they can be. They definitely can be. But yeah, no, I did not realize it's already going on 11 o'clock, so I'm going to have to go ahead and start wrapping this stream up. This has been a great stream tonight. I did not expect when I first started the stream for it to be, one, this long, or two, this active. Y'all have been great tonight. I always appreciate y'all tuning in. Of course, if you have any questions or anything, you can ask them, right now in the chat before we end the stream, or if you're going to be watching this after the stream goes from like a live stream to a video, you can always shout it out in the comments below, of course. And if you all haven't already, like I said, just do me one last favor, smash that thumbs up button, share the channel with people that you think would love the channel, or not love the channel, but benefit from the channel or anything like that. And so happy I came. This was awesome. Yeah. Anytime y'all can make it in, it's awesome in here. And we did hit our goal of at least 10 likes. We ended up with 12, actually. So I am, like I said, I'm going to stick to my word. I'm going to post like I said, it's nothing crazy or anything, but a basic little script for you guys who, maybe you don't have much sales experience and you want a little script to go off of. And I need to write a note to remember also that, what our script is for explaining to customers why we don't need to do the inside every single service. because that will definitely, that in all honesty might help you more than the actual script itself. But both of those things will help you all, and I'm going to put them on our website, Griffin B. Thomas, B as in boy, in case it sounds like a D. GriffinBThomas.com is where I'll be posting that sometime tomorrow when I have some time. And how's it going, Cody? Good evening. I just hopped on. Sorry, missed it, but wanted to check in and give you some thumbs up. Oh, yeah, no, I appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, do me a favor. Yeah, smash that thumbs up, those of you that haven't already. I appreciate y'all always tuning in. Y'all are loyal. I'll tell you that. Y'all are loyal. Like, we always have, you know, at least at the bare minimum, somewhere around, like on the worst nights, 5 to 10 of you guys, and on the best nights, you know, around 10 to 20 of you all, which I know for a lot of people on YouTube and, you know, Twitch and all that, that's not like a lot of, you know, people watching a stream or anything like that, but, you know, I'm not doing it like for the numbers or anything necessarily or anything like that. I do like to see, I mean, I remember I used to do streams that I was talking to myself. It was, yeah, I mean, there were a lot of times, in all honesty, that I just didn't know if I was ever going to come back to YouTube. You know, if you guys scroll through the channel enough, you'll see that, you know, we started out selling on Amazon and eBay. Then I took some time away from YouTube. Then I was doing, you know, of course, stock market trading, which I love stock market trading. But, you know, then I took some time away from YouTube again. Because of course I was starting my pest control business. That was taking all the time in the world, of course. And then I just randomly wanted to give everyone an update on YouTube because I did have like 1,000 subscribers roughly. So I was like, you know, I did build a little bit of a following. I at least want to give people an update. And that video of all videos, which was horribly produced, it's like a video I'm not proud of or anything at all. It was just a simple update video about my pest control business, and here it is today at like 7,000 subscribers almost. So, or 7,000 subscribers, 7,000 viewers on that video almost. So, let's see. Have you thought of joining it? So I am part of NPMA. For us in Texas, it's called, I think, TPCA, Texas Pest Control Association, I believe is what it's called. My world says Griffin is cool. He's been one of the realest. Yeah, no, I appreciate you, my world. Yeah, you were one of the really first day viewers, if I recall. Like, I don't even know how long you've been tuning into the channel. I know it's been at least almost a year now. Maybe even longer. I don't know, because I posted that first pest control related video back in June, I believe, of last year. So we've been posting pest control business content for just over a year and a couple months now. Let's see. I want to form better networking groups like this that side skirts the America corporate entity, for real. Would love to learn trading also. Dude, trading is man, trust me, stick with business. Business is much easier than trading. I tell people, trading stocks and futures, it's a glorified gambling at the end of the day. You're much better to grow a business, invest rather than trade. And you know, if you want to gamble around with some trading, you can. I mean, you can make money trading, don't get me wrong, like, especially if you trade futures. Futures are the only thing I ever really trade anymore. Whenever I do have some money that I want to trade and make a quick couple bucks or whatever, scratch that itch. But for most people, there's a reason, just like with business, there's a reason that like 95, 96% of them, you know, either break even or lose money at the end of the day. If you ever do decide to trade, stay away from options, stay away from penny stocks. That'll be the one piece of advice I'll give you all in terms of trading tonight. Been following this guy for 6+ months. Yeah, you have been following for a while too. What's up, Incognito Drew? I got here late as well, but I'm glad I catch the end. Yeah, no, and that's the other thing with these live streams too, is they upload. It takes them a while sometimes, but they will upload into a video format as well. So you all can, if you want to watch it, of course, these longer streams, they're longer than movies in some cases, like tonight. If you have YouTube Premium, you can, of course, listen to it similar to like a podcast. And I am in the process. I have a podcast, of course. For those of you that don't know, there's a link in my link tree to that podcast. It's called like the Real Life Entrepreneur podcast with Griffin Thomas. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to be more consistent with taking the audio from the YouTube videos that would make good podcasting content, essentially. Of course, if it's a how-to video where you need to see it, obviously not very good for audio, right? But for like these streams, Q&As, that kind of thing, I'm trying to be more consistent about posting them into the podcast form. But if you have YouTube Premium, I have YouTube Premium. I've had it for a while just because, I love listening to, I like podcasts in terms of like Spotify too, but there's a lot of like YouTube videos where like if I can just listen to it, like I'll listen to it too. I love YouTube Premium. But yeah, you can do that as well. Let's see, we go way back now, I guess. Yeah. Always appreciate you and your time. Yeah, no, I appreciate you too. I love what you're doing. Keep it going. It's not just a business, it's a way of life. Exactly. Yeah, we're just out here. We're all trying to make it. And like I said, the goal for the channel ultimately, which if you guys want to help us get there quicker, share the content with people. Like everyone asks a lot of times, how can we help you? Man, for real, to be honest, there's no better. It's just like the pest control business. How can your customers help you? Share your information, right? Same thing with the content and whatnot. If you want to help the channel, share the content, even if you just post it on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, send it to, if you work at a job as a pest technician still and some coworkers and stuff that'd be interested, you can share it with them. That starts to spread like a wildfire. And the more people that we get in here, and not just the live streams, but in terms of, viewers of the content and the channel, eventually what I want to do when I see that the numbers make sense in terms of how many of us there are in this community, I want to host my own event. I think I talked about this either in last night's stream or a couple streams ago. I want to host a pest control entrepreneur event in Frisco, Texas, which is in North Dallas, at the Star. It's called the Star. If y'all haven't heard of it, look it up. It's awesome. It's a great area to host events and stuff. Very beautiful area in Frisco, Texas. And it's one thing to do these live streams. It's another thing to get the face-to-face interaction. It motivates you. It gets you, if you've ever been to any type of business, quote-unquote, conference or event, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Like, you just leave with this, like, energy of, like, you could just run through a wall for your business or any type of conference, really. Marriage conference, you could run through a wall for the marriage, whatever the case. It's like going to church, right? That feeling you get when you go to church where, for those of you that are churchgoers, you walk out there kind of just feeling like almost, some people would say like cleansed, but I would say motivated, right? So, yeah, no, definitely, if you all share the content, anything, I appreciate it for sure. Let's see. I'm not religious, but I feel blessed to be in this circle. Yeah, no, most definitely. Believe that about the trading. Yeah. Equity over trading. Yeah, 100% incognito Drew. 100. I wish, that's one thing I wish YouTube would allow, like, us to do. Kind of how Facebook has reactions. I wish we could, like, react to comments or, like, in the chat or whatever. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see. I just found you yesterday and have binged about 27 of your videos. Very easy and digestible information. That's awesome. Yeah, I had to get YouTube Premium. Not a big fan of Spotify. Oh, really? See, I like Spotify. Sometimes didn't they just raise their price too? I think Spotify just raised their, in all honesty, I might get rid of Spotify. If they did raise their price, I might have to get rid of Spotify because I'm same with you. I like YouTube Premium, and people are starting to put their podcast on YouTube now because YouTube has like a podcast section. Which I don't know if you guys noticed, I started utilizing that. That's actually where I got the idea to start like transcribing that audio from the videos to podcasts, was YouTube having that podcast section now for us. Yeah, I started doing that. I started, any of the content that I think would also work to like listen to for those of you that have YouTube Premium and want to just listen to it. You can still watch it as a video. It's very similar to playlist, really. They just classify it as podcast. That way, people that want to just listen, they have that option, essentially. Yeah, YouTube Premium. I like YouTube Premium, yeah. And yeah, I swear that they raised the price on freaking Spotify. And if they did, I'm going to have to leave that. I'm in OKC right above you. I'd be interested in an event. I'll just write it on. And that's the other thing too. Like a lot of people, they're like, I'm not going to go to Pest World, which man, if I can make it to Pest World this year, I want to go so bad. It's in Hawaii. I'm trying so hard. I keep telling my wife, I'm like, we just need to set aside $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, and make it happen. But man, it's coming up quick. We're only 2 months away? Yeah, 2 months and a week actually, because it's October 17th, I think. So man, it's coming up quick. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it, but you can write it off at the end of the day, and you can write off that whole damn trip because it's business. I would love to be in on the event. Yeah, no, I mean, shoot, it sounds like we already got 3 or 4 of you at the minimum that are wanting to join the event. So, yeah, no, I was telling it to my wife just the other day. I was like, man, in all honesty, I was like, it'd be awesome. I was like, that is, because she's like, why are you doing, like, she noticed, like, I'm obviously doing a lot more streams, videos, like, I'm putting, in all honesty, like, if I were to say how much time in terms of percentages, I would say I put about, not 50-50, I still put more time into my business than YouTube, of course, because I make 0, like I'm not even monetized yet. Getting close, you have to hit 4,000 watch hours, and I'm at like 3,500 or something like that, 3,600. So live streams like this definitely help get me there, but like in terms of how much time I'm putting towards it, I would say like 40%, like 60% of time goes to the business, about 40% goes towards, YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, etc. Just trying to get more people to join our community. That way we can, just continue to build this network. Because, like I said, I mean, there's other groups, of course. You have Bug Bucks, tends to be kind of the biggest, like, pest control business community, of course, but most of those are like businesses that are between, from what I've noticed at least, businesses, there's 2 types of business owners in that group. There's the business owners who have at least at the minimum 5 to 10 employees on up, and then there's the guy who's like just getting started, or not even just getting started, but has like 1 or 2 employees. Like, it's not hardly any people that are early on in the grind. It's mostly people who, they're already doing, in a lot of cases, well over $500,000 or more in sales per year, which, like I said, it's not to say that it's, a group you don't want to be a part of. I'm in that group too, but I wanted to create a group of, people who are like just starting their journey, and we're all just kind of, just literally going up the same path in terms of, we all have the same goal at the end of the day, to just achieve that financial freedom and help each other along the way. Nice, we can all have a write-off party. Absolutely motivational. Hawaii, I did see that. Yeah, Maui. Yeah, I got some tinfoil hat theories on what's going on in Maui right now. But I think, if I remember right, it's going to be in Honolulu this year, which I don't think has been affected. Did they for real do Pest World in Hawaii? Pest World in Hawaii? That's not gonna happen. Yeah, no, it's in Honolulu, so it's hard to say. We'll see. I mean, of course, everything's still kind of developing with that, but yeah, that will be interesting to see if it is affected, because of course they're two separate, islands. I mean, same state, but separate islands. So as long as the main island there is not affected, then it should still be on, you would think. But we'll see. I wish I was 26. Yeah, no, in all honesty, I wish I was 20. I always think about it, I'm like, man, time is the ultimate currency at the end of the day. You just can't get the time back at the end of the day. It's one of them things. That's why I'm trying so hard to just grow this business to where I can hire somebody, and not just somebody, but a bunch of somebodies. One, you're helping the economy because you're creating good jobs, assuming you're not a bad employer, but also you're getting the ultimate currency back, your time. That's what I tell everybody. A lot of people will get it twisted and be like, oh, you just want to be rich, blah, 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 blah. But like I tell everybody, I'm like, man, money's shit. I was like, money, it's just a fucking piece of paper, you know? I'm like, it's not the money that I'm after, it's the freedom at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, we don't know when that clock called life is going to stop turning. And, you don't get that time back. Time is that ultimate currency. So as soon as you're able to hire somebody, definitely do it. Do it the right way, of course. Don't, in my opinion at least, don't hire people that, are like minimum wage type or anything like that. You want to pay people good and all that. At least in my opinion, again, I want to help the economy. I want to give people good paying careers, not just a job. But yeah, the quicker you can get yourself out of the field and all that, the better off things will get. Are we growing at the pace that even I want to grow? Hell no. But like I said, we're spending virtually zero in advertising, which is going to be changing very rapidly over the next few months and years. But it's going to be worth it. Hit the nail on the head. You let go of your tech, don't sell your truck though. Yeah, I'm going back and forth on it. So here's the logic on it. One, I'll be able to get another truck still, right? There's multiple things that go into it. Like, we're planning on hiring our next tech. What would that be? About 7 months from now, roughly, is when, at the latest, is when we plan on hiring our next tech. And I'm going to have to pay my 6 months of insurance coming up here in November, which is about $150 to $180 a month per vehicle, just in terms of the average across the 3 vehicles. So one, by getting rid of that vehicle that I'm not really using, I would save at least about $150 to $180 a month. And then I would also save the car payment, which would in turn give me more money to, of course, put into the advertising, amongst other things, to grow the business. 7 month, why wait? Because just from the cash flow standpoint, when we're looking at winter specifically, that's when we're going to have our biggest drop off. And I don't want to hire somebody just to then have to potentially lay them off or put the company in a bad position. And then some of it too is just, like I mentioned from time to time, this house is stupid, just being completely honest. It's costing us another $700 to $800 a month more than what, if we would just have gone to a different house. That's not, it's not that the house is like crippling or anything at all. It's just one 500 here, 500 there, 700 there. It adds up. All it takes is a couple 700s, boom, to create a salary, right? But then also too, the amount of time that, of course, I can put into the field. Let's see. Exactly. Oh, I feel like I missed some comments here. Exactly. Never get time back. That's why this man is streaming at 11 o'clock. Hustler, take care. Yeah, no, that I mean, you're actually spot on, Incognito Drew. Yeah, it's 11:15 where I'm at. I sleep. I'm not a healthy human. I ain't gonna lie to you all. I don't suggest most of you do what I do. I mean, yeah, no. I don't suggest most people do what I do. My parents give me shit. Like everyone in my family, like most people, normal people, give me shit because I only sleep, generally speaking, anywhere between 3 to 6 hours a night. Some of it, of course, is because we have a newborn, but I usually only sleep anywhere between 3 to 6 hours a night. And any hour I'm awake, I'm usually working, doing some type of work, even if it's just on my phone, editing some stuff on YouTube or on social media or following up, texting, whatever the case may be. I'm always doing something, some kind of work. I feel like even when I do get to the time where I'm kind of, doing this in terms of the pest control business, I'll still be, if anything, that'll give me more time to dive into, this community and everything. There's, I'll probably always be doing something, to be honest. Just for example, anytime I'm like sick, which thank God isn't too often, anytime I'm sick or anytime, like, say I forget to pre-call customers or something, and I'm not the type to just show up to my customers. I always try to text them, call them in advance. Anytime I forget and it's like just an office day or anything, boy, I go crazy by the end of the day. Like, I'll be walking outside to check the mail like 3 or 4 times, even though I know damn well the mail hasn't came. I'm just the type where, like, I always want to be doing something. Like, but I will tell you, I do have my periods where, like, I crash. Like, when I crash, and it takes me a couple days, couple weeks to kind of get that momentum going. That's why I talk about momentum actually so much on this channel, is because I know my biggest fear is losing momentum, because I know as soon as I start losing momentum, it freaking goes just bananas for me for a while. And I know that from a business standpoint too, the same thing happened. Like, business is very similar to life from that aspect, right? When it comes to your business and life in general, right? But when it comes to your business, everyone wants their graph to just go like this, right? They want it to just go straight up. But what most people don't realize is to some degree, you're going to start out up here, you're going to start out all high and mighty. I don't even know if y'all can see that dot. I'm going to make it a little bigger. You're going to start up here all happy, yay, I'm starting a business, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to realize, oh shit, this is hard. And then you're going to start actually getting some sales, assuming you don't quit down here. You're going to start going up. And then you're not going to quite get up to where you were in terms of enthusiasm and whatnot when you first started. But then you're going to get smacked with something like a dispute, or, somebody sues you for some stupid shit that, shit happens when you start getting any kind of success, right? So then you start coming back down and you're like, shit, what's happening? And then, you start going up again. We've all seen those charts, right? It's the roller coaster. The main thing is that you can, and better control is, you want to make sure every time this peaks and it starts to come down, you catch it as soon as possible, and you make sure to catch that momentum again, and each time you go higher and higher and higher the entire way up. That is really what entrepreneurship and business ownership, investing, investing is a prime example too. You don't see the stock market usually. You don't see it just go straight up, right? What do you see? You usually see some ups and downs, right? Regardless if it's a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, whatever the case may be. It's, constant ups and downs. The main thing is you got to make sure that each time you come down, you're not making new lows. Just like stocks, as a matter of fact. The more you make new lows, eventually you're going to be out of business, right? So, yeah, no, I'm actually glad we took it there tonight because that's actually some, in my opinion, some solid advice. Let's see. I think Rat King said something up here. What'd you say? Where were we at? Can you find another tech faster than dealing with the vehicle purchase and inflation? If you get right. Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot that's going to go into it. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see what happens. I'll definitely keep you guys updated about that. Is it normal to feel scared about hiring? Absolutely, because your reputation is on the line. If you hire too soon, you could go out of business. If you hire too late, you could go out of business. There's so much that goes into it. Gotta invest now and it pays dividends later, just like the stock market. Exactly. I'm weird. I love field work. I tell my wife no matter what, I want to spend some time every week in the field. Even if we have 50 techs, I'm a nerd. I love this industry. Even if just one day a week. No, for real. Yeah, no. And I'm kind of wired somewhat like that. When it's 110 freaking degrees every day like it is right now, I'm like, no, I'm ready to get out of the field as soon as possible. But no, I definitely get what you mean. I'm the same way. I'm like an outside type of guy where, like I said, any time where I have to be just in the office, fuck, man, it's brutal. Just like I could never have an office job. The closest I had to an office job was when I had that sales job at Verizon a long time ago when I first got out of college. When I first got out of, technically it was college actually because I dropped out of college. It was a sales job and God, I hated that shit so bad. I mean, I love the sales. Anytime I got a sale, I love that thrill of the sale, but I hated the office, like just sitting down all day. Ugh. I think if you have a good rate on the truck finance, keep it. The rate is so-so because I had no proof of income because I just lost my job at Terminex. It was what, 7%, I think, 6 or 7%. Still not bad. Griffin's gonna break his longest chat record tonight, and we're all partying with them. Yeah, we have been going. We're at 200 minutes. It says 201 now. Actually, we've been live for what, 3.5 hours, if my math is right, somewhere around there. Let's see. I'd be so scared of flea buying in this. Yeah, true. You gotta take that downtime though. Don't sacrifice your health. No, for sure. We're on the marathon. Exactly. We are on a marathon. I will say, I stress that all the time. This is a marathon, not a sprint. 100%. And your up and down graph looks like my mother. That's hilarious. I won't comment on my mother-in-law. She may from time. She acts like she doesn't watch any of my content, but she makes comments where I know she does. So I'm not gonna make any jokes or anything. This inflation is crazy. I'm on Central Coast. Oh, you're in California. Fuck. Get out of California, my friend. What are y'all doing in California still, anyways? I mean, you can't hardly own a business out there. You have no freedoms out there. I'm surprised anyone lives out there anymore. It's a damn shame. Y'all gotta take that. No, you know what? Don't leave California. Don't leave it. Take it back. Take California back. Make it a great state. That's what y'all should do. Man, if anyone hates what I'm about to say, fuck it. I don't care. I mean, look at what my shirt says. United we stand. I mean, you should know where I stand on everything. Y'all need to have somebody run for governor to make California great again. Like, let's be real. Because California did. I mean, the whole thing with Make America Great, I'm not trying to get political or anything, but the thing where people hate that slogan is they're like, well, for some people, America was never really great, blah, 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 blah. But with California though, California was great. Like there's not a lot of people who would say California like was never. There's people that'll still say California is great, right? So I think make California great again. That'd be a fucking awesome slogan. Of course, it would seem like it's copying. You almost can't even say his name on YouTube anymore. But yeah, no, that'd be an awesome slogan. I just don't see how things can go down. It's not like we're going. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no. I will say though, I have noticed some leveling of prices in pest control lately. I'm not seeing prices go up like they were a couple years ago. For our industry, that is. I want to break away from my full-time job and do this full-time. This economy has killed so many. True. True. Especially where you're at, JM. Illinois, that's another freaking liberal cesspool. Remember, our industry does better. This is true. This is true, Rat King. I think I actually mentioned that I brought up in our industry. Oh, what video was that? I think it was the why you should start a pest control business video, which that video has been doing pretty good recently too. It's up to like 500-600 views or something. Getting a lot of new subscribers from that video. It's up to like 25-30 subscribers from that video alone. Yes, our industry does very well during economic downturns. My theory on that, going back to like COVID, for example, when the economy is doing pretty bad, what are people doing less of? Going out and spending money, right? And with not going out and spending money means what? They're at home more. When you're at home more, what are you more likely to see? Shit that's wrong with your house, regardless if it's, plumbing, bugs in the house, termites, whatever the case may be, right? You're going to be, obviously, the more that you are home, the more likely you're going to be to see issues in your home because you're home more, right? It's just law of numbers at the end of the day. So it makes sense 100% why during COVID and even, during the horrible economy that we're in right now, pest control is doing just fine and it's on pace to grow at like 6+% this year because, the more that people are not at, the stores and everything else spending money, the more likely they're going to see bugs and call us, right? So much money during COVID. Yeah, exactly. That's funny. I didn't even see your comment till just then, Rat King. Take back California. In California, but in IE, so I feel like I live in Texas with the price of my home. That's funny. California made U.S. history in the gold. Yeah, right, exactly. Yep. When people are home, they are more likely to hear the rats. They call the Rat King. Yep. Griffin, that's the market. At home, work professionals, they don't want to go back to the office. Exactly. Yup. Every time I see that, I think of Theo Vaughn. That's hilarious. That dude is funny. Theo Vaughn. Yeah, no. I was trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention tonight real quick before I hop off here. But yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, we were talking about, of course, momentum. That's one of the main things. If you really want your business to grow quick, regardless if you're just starting or you're looking to grow, any of that, you got to understand the power of momentum and how to get momentum back as soon as possible. How do you get momentum back? Discipline. I can't stress enough. Anytime I notice that my momentum is starting to go down, I go back to really basic shit. Doing it sounds crazy, but like doing little random things like cold showers, ice baths, shit that I don't want to do. Going to the gym, I'll go to the gym for like 90 days straight, whatever the case may be. Like, I'm gonna get back to my roots of what, and it could be totally different for you. Like, for you, it could be going to the store and shaking three people's hand. You may be an introvert or something where you don't like talking to a lot of people, but to build momentum that you're gonna need to go talk to people, right? So, main thing is to just find out what it is for you that builds momentum. And anytime you notice, in terms of discipline, anytime you notice that the momentum is starting to kind of slack off, like starting to go down, go take a look, take an honest look in the mirror and say, have I been sticking to my disciplines? And if the answer is no, go back and hit them hard. I guarantee you, staying disciplined, it'll help you big time. In terms of when we were talking about those waves, you'll notice the first wave, it's going to come down hard. You're going to be like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to survive this. But then once you start kind of figuring it out, the waves become smaller and smaller in terms of the dip of the wave. Griffin, bed bugs, do you do it? Yeah, we do bed bug treatments. Not a lot, in all honesty. We don't. One, we only close about 33% of the bed bug leads we do get. We do chemical treatments for our bed bug treatments, mostly with Alpine WSG, occasionally with temperate if we need to do a follow-up, but usually one good Alpine WSG spraying, it'll do good for them. I've had so many clients say they called me first because of the name. Yeah, anytime you have a good witty name, it sticks out for sure. Real quick, your backpack sprayer do you use? Do they only sell it as electric? Yes. If you're talking about the Flow Zone, yes. That is an electric backpack sprayer. Speaking of which, I meant to do this today. I'm looking at trying to get some kind of deal for you guys on Flow Zones as well. Hopefully didn't let the cat, man, you can tell I'm getting tired now. I'm losing my train of thought. Hopefully I didn't let the, forget it. Had a Joe Biden moment. But yeah, I'm trying to work something out where I can, get you guys some kind of affiliate code for Flow Zone and maybe get you all a deal or something through them. But yeah, those are electric, and I love it. I love it, in all honesty. Usually all I need to use is the level 1 through level 3 setting. Level 4 and level 5, that shit is powerful. Like, crazy. Matter of fact, I just got some new tips in the mail, finally. It took them like a week and a half to come in the mail, but I'm gonna try them out. They're supposed to be really good for like mosquito spraying, which is why I'm actually selling my mosquito mister right now, because I no longer have a use for it with these new Flow Zone tips that just came out. And I'll have to do like a product review of those for you guys, see how those tips work and record them and that kind of thing. Yes, use a rig for termites, 100%. The electric Flow Zone can easily hit second story. Yeah, especially if you're using that pinpoint nozzle that they have, and you turn that bad boy up to level 5, it'll hit second floor easy. I currently use the birch wire. I've heard of them, I've never used them though. For a Flow Zone, yeah, one battery will usually do. Depends how disciplined you are. Sometimes I get lazy or I just simply forget to plug mine in, and that's where it would be nice to have a second Flow Zone battery, but man, the batteries are like $100. So yeah, one battery will usually do, I think it's like 60 gallons out of one charge, something like that. Somewhere around like 50 or 60 gallons. So if you think about it, if you're doing 2 gallons per home, which a lot of homes you can get away with like 1.5 gallon, at least where I'm at. But let's say you use 2 gallons for an easy number, that's going to be roughly 25 to 30 stops you're going to get out of one charge. So at least at the minimum, 2 full days. And that's at the minimum. I mean, I don't really have a quote unquote full route yet either. Yeah, I would say, yeah, if you have a full route, it'll last 2 or 3 days. And when you're first starting out your business, it'll last a full week easily. Yeah, I'm not gonna get a still. They're overpriced, and if anything, the Tomahawk, in my opinion, is the best mosquito mister so far. Um, but in terms of those mosquito misters, but like I said, if you have a flow zone with the new tips that they've came out with, it's awesome. How long does one battery last? Oh, yeah, I just answered that. I do a lot of bed bug in Los Angeles. Oh, I can imagine. Tempered FX. Yeah, I use Tempered FX sometimes too. I like Alpine WSG the best, but yeah, Tempered FX can work on it as well. Definitely get a flow zone. Yeah, flow zone is awesome. I have the Birchmeier, kind of overrated. Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I've heard of the I think it's called Birchmeier. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I've heard of it. I've just never used it personally. I'm a full advocate of Yes, and Crossfire works great too. My buddy, I mentioned him a few times on this channel, Junior. He's the owner of Top Flight Pest Control in Wiley, Texas. We chat a lot, and he loves Crossfire as well. He uses Crossfire and Tempered, if I remember right. Yeah, I'll probably have 2 batteries, to be honest. I always forget to charge my stuff. Yeah, if you're bad about forgetting to charge, I would just go ahead and get 2 batteries. Like I said, it is a little bit of an investment, but it definitely, does the trick. I want to make sure that my phone's not about to die. Ooh, it is at 6%, so I am going to have to actually end the stream at some point. Let's see, got a few more questions or comments here. So yeah, we were talking about the 2 batteries. Yeah, I would definitely get 2 batteries if you know for a fact you're bad at charging stuff. It definitely comes in handy. Flowzone does make a mosquito mister now. They just came out with it, I believe, this year. That mofo is expensive though. It's like $1,100 or something, maybe even more if I remember right. In my opinion, just not worth it. Like I said, they make their tips now, or not their tips. They make a new tip lineup, I guess. Like I said, I'll do a video breakdown for you guys because I finally found my little attachment for my chest. I have this chest strap thing where I can record from my chest. I have it for my head too, but it looks completely stupid on my head. So I'll do it from my chest, and I'll have to show you because those tips make it where a mister, I think. Like I said, I've never used them, so I'll give you guys my review, true straight up review of them. But I think it makes it where really a mosquito mister is just not really necessary. Crossfire equals a godsend. Bank charger on those batteries. Yeah. Those little Crossfire bottles make mixing easy. True. Yeah. I've got about 8 months before I start my company, so plenty of time to buy everything. One is little true. Yeah, one thing I would suggest is get a couple of B&G repair kits, like the gasket repair kits. Never a bad idea to have those on hand. Those are one of them things where you never think you're going to need it, and then the moment you need it, you don't have it. So definitely get at least one, if not 2 of those to have in your vehicle. What else? A pocket knife. I'm just thinking of little things that can easily be forgotten. What else? Man, there's so many just little things that come in handy. Get you an auger drill bit it's like a 3-inch diameter auger drill bit. And if you have a hammer drill, a cordless hammer drill, you won't even need to buy one of those big, ridiculous augers if you're planning on doing Trelona bait stations. I think I showed you guys that in like my truck setup video where we have a giant auger bit. It's like 24 inches and it just connects to your drill. Heavy duty, it's like $100 for the bit, but man, it makes doing it so easy. I can do a full Trelona job. I just did one last Monday. It was what? Was it 14 stations? 13, 14 stations? I did it in like 20 minutes. Like, you're talking 1 minute or so, 1 to 2 minutes per station, and that's in 100-degree heat. Overwintering pest solutions suggestions. Plug in your cell. Yeah, I don't even have a charger in here. I need to get a charger in here. Honestly, I'm bad when it comes to winterizing because I'm spoiled down here in Texas. We rarely have below freezing nights. When we do, though, I have like a little space heater, like one of those little plug-in ones, not like a big one or anything, like just a little one. And since my my cab is like, enclosed or whatever, I'll just put that in there with a drop cord and I'll shut it, and it'll be like 60, 70 degrees in there in the morning. If you're gonna have 2 B&Gs, get one as a half gallon. No need to mix full. That's true. Yeah, I mean it's nice to have. My only issue is like they didn't even make the half gallon any cheaper. I'm like, come on, man. Exactly. Yeah. That auger bit comes in handy. We don't have real winters here. We have winter days essentially. What do you do? Oh, what do you do for? Well, man, bugs are active down here all year round. I will say it tends to be more rodent work, like exclusion and wildlife in the winter, and a lot more German roach jobs I notice in the winter as well. But pest control is really kind of like an all year thing down here. Most of the time, I would say our deadest month or so is right after the holidays, probably January and very early February, because that is also the coldest time of the year too, of course. But yeah, pest control is almost all year round Texas. Yeah, and I hear the same thing Texas King Rat King just said about hanging Christmas lights. I know like some mosquito companies will do that too. Let's see, I'm in Illinois. Yeah, my cousin's in Missouri, so he's in a similar boat as you, Jan. He's probably less than 4 hours from you to the west. What's up, Salvador? Geez, is the stream still alive? Yeah, I'm gonna be hopping off soon because my battery's down to like 5%, but maybe even less. Let me check. Where we at? Yeah, we're at 5%. If you guys wonder why it freezes like that, anytime you're not on there, it's because I'm like checking the screen. Yeah, we're at 5%, so we will be hopping off here soon. I don't even know how long we've been live at this point. Where we at? Like almost 4 hours? Yeah, we've been going crazy up in here. Rats kick up for a couple months, yeah. And then squirrels pick it up, it seems, right around depends on how quick we warm up. Usually right around March, I would say, is whenever we start getting a lot of like squirrel calls and stuff too. And man, March, April, May, my God, those are money-making months. Boy, we got squirrels, possums, rats, termite swarms, carpenter ants, like, fuck. It's like the head is spinning for those 3 months. And then come around late May, June, I'd say about June, middle of June, it starts to kind of simmer down a little bit. We start drying out usually. And from there, it's mostly water bugs, as people like to call them, American roaches, of course, spiders, that kind of thing. Have a blessed evening. You too, Cody. I appreciate you tuning in as always. Been amazing stream, Griffin. Thank you, bro. Yeah, no, most definitely. I appreciate y'all tuning in. JM, it's all granular work during the winter from what I was told. Yeah, and that too, like speaking of where you're at, JM, like from what I understand, most of what like my cousin does up there and what a lot of people up there do is they mostly just granulate, they'll dust, they'll set out, yeah, some rodent bait stations. It's a good time to check termite stations because it's cooler. Don't want to be doing it when it's 100 degrees, right? Um, that kind of thing. My area gets legit water bugs, the alien looking dudes. Pinch like hell. I'm interested. Are you talking about American roaches, Rat King? Or you said the alien looking dudes pinch like hell? The pinch like hell is what I'm wondering about. My world says thanks, Griffin. Another great chat. Yeah, no, I appreciate you tuning in, my world. It's always awesome to have you in here. Have a good evening, everyone. Yeah, no, I appreciate you tuning in, my world. We'll see you again in that next one. Totally propping this on my website. Overwinter package. Get in now. Yeah, like get a deal while it's cheap. Because if you wait until spring, when everybody's calling me, guess what? Supply and demand, right? No, not American roaches. There's an actual insect called water bug. Alright, you got me interested now. I see Oriental roach. American roach. Let me see. Let me go back to the chat. There is an actual insect called water bug. A few inches long, big pinchers. I'm gonna look it up. Is there such a thing as a water bug? Although many people refer to cockroaches species as water bugs, well, that's from Oregon. Let me look. Yeah, they were just showing cockroaches. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I'm trying to find it. Oh, here we go. Let me see. The true okay, I see it. I see it now. Yeah. The true water bug. Wow. Yeah, that's the first time I've actually seen that. I see what you mean here now. I found it from cockroachsavvy.com. Let me actually click on this link and I'll share it in the chat for you guys. Right, that's what I was just thinking, JM. I wish we could like post pictures in the chat. I'm gonna post the link for you guys here though, so you guys can check that out after the stream. Yeah, it's weird looking, I'll tell you. It looks very similar. It looks like a hybrid of a German roach, an American roach, an Oriental roach, and like, I don't want to say a scorpion, but like a not silverfish, earwig maybe? Like, it looks like 3 or 4 different type of them up in one. It's weird. Huh. Interesting. The more you know, right? Nipomorpha looks like an assassin bug. Oh, I see what you're talking about, JM. No, not quite. Not quite like an assassin bug, but yeah, I mean, they have some of the same traits, but not. Huh. Yeah, no, that's interesting, for sure. Kids picked them up thinking they're beetles. Kids, right? But yeah, no, that was my last drink of water, which is usually my sign that it's time to go ahead and hop off the stream. So, yeah, no, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Man, this has been crazy. We've been live now, I think, for over 4 hours, if my math is right. The assassins are much smaller. Yeah, they look pretty small. But yeah, no, this stream has been awesome. Yeah, this is arguably one of the best streams that we've had. Hopefully, they keep on being this way. If you're tuning in and you just joined recently and you haven't already, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button. We're well past our goal of that 10 likes. We got 13 total. So, sometime tomorrow, like I said, I'm gonna publish our little, sales script along with how to approach your customers about why you don't need to do inside service every time. It'll help your business big time. It's not that you're trying to get out of work or anything. Don't let anybody make you think that it's that you're trying to get out of work. It's simply that from a scheduling standpoint, it will hold your business back at the end of the day. So I'll be posting those things. Looks like all y'all are saying good night. Yeah, no, I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you're seeing this after it goes from a live stream to a video, we'd love to have you in future live streams with us in the chats. It's always awesome to chat it up with you guys. So subscribe, hit the bell icon. Don't just hit that bell icon. Make sure that your YouTube notifications are turned on. We talked about that earlier. Go into the settings of your phone on YouTube, or not on YouTube. Go into the settings of your phone under your settings app, find YouTube within your settings app, make sure that the notifications for YouTube are turned on, and yeah, I guess until next time, guys, stay safe out there, keep on going out and getting the life that you and your family deserves. I appreciate you guys. And let's see, when are you going to be on again? I may be on tomorrow. It's hard to say. I'm doing a better job of scheduling these, by the way, Dre and anybody else watching. I'm trying to schedule them in the morning and whatnot. That way, everybody that is subscribed and whatnot will see, he's going live this evening or whatever the case may be. So if by like lunchtime or so you haven't seen that a live stream has been scheduled, more than likely I won't be going live on those days. But in some cases, I'll do these like quicker live streams that are like 30 minutes or less, whenever I just have time to do so, be it, driving from stop to stop if I have a long drive, that kind of thing. But in terms of these type of streams, the longer form ones, I'm trying to do at the bare minimum at least 1 to 3 a week. And yeah, no, I'll definitely just keep trying to schedule those for you guys so you can see them whenever you look up the channel. Please post a schedule if you can, but we totally understand. Hey, podcast. Yeah. And then, like we said too, we're trying to upload it to the podcast as well. Yeah, with YouTube Premium and all that good stuff, and Spotify and everything else. But yeah, stay safe, guys. Stay hydrated. Don't overheat yourself this week. Good thing is we're approaching the end of the week. If you have any questions after the live ends, just let me know. Shout it out in Discord, Facebook, whatever the case may be. And I will probably see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.